All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Fletch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. How's everybody doing tonight? Hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you. And let's party! Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch us, even though you missed the live party, guys. That is the best part. So make sure you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. So also say thank you to my6shirt.com, the only place to get your very own The Indian Jesus official merch. Only at my6shirt.com. All right. What is good? We got Melted Mind Media in the building. We got Guam Tech in the building. Shout out to those of you over on Instagram, Kick, X, all of those. Welcome to the party. So today is going to be an interesting one. You may have seen a while back, it was about a month ago, Jubilee put out one of their Middle Ground episodes, and the what's up splits, and they it was something that I wasn't really thinking about covering until I actually saw somebody else kind of cover a little bit of it, and I realized that it hit a little bit close to home. So we are, if you're not familiar with Jubilee Middle Ground, they will have, they've got a bunch of people together on two sides of an issue. They will give a prompt. The people who agree step forward to have a discussion, and then everybody else will step forward and finish off the discussion. And this one is being fat a choice? And we have the running poll. Which would you rather be to an unhealthy degree? A running poll. It's to an unhealthy degree. Which would you rather be? Too fat or too skinny? Shout out to Soil to Soul. Welcome to the party. Too fat or too skinny? Without further ado, let's dive right in. As always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me.
I'm sorry. There's a big difference between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus a Lizzo who's saying accept me the way I am.
She's not just saying accept me the way I am. She's dressing extremely scantily clad and then saying if you don't think that it's normal for a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in
What's good, X-Frost? Welcome.
middle of public, then you're the problem.
We got Craig in the building. Welcome to the party, guys. So so those are our two sides. We have the plus size side and the skinny side. Y'all know where I would fall. You decide where you fall. Okay, so our first prompt is being fat or skinny is a choice.
Is a choice.
Shout out to Captain Gooby. Welcome to the problem. So being fat or skinny. We got M's169 in the building. Being fat or skinny is a choice. That is the prompt. So the people who are stepping forward right now are the people who agree that whether it is being fat or being skinny, that it is indeed a choice. That's what I mean. He said, chicks so big, to need a cane at 40. Oh my God. Shout out to Melted Mind Media, another awesome YouTuber. Definitely go check him out. Just drop the link to the channel. Dun, dun, dun.
Of course, not every.
So we have two of the skinny people and two of the fat people. I'm not saying plus size, but two of the skinny people and one of the fat people step forward, agree with the notion that it is a choice.
Factor is purely choice. I don't think.
Damn, they are already claiming this. If you are enjoying the show and would like for me not to starve, you know what to do. Shout out to Blah. Oh, we had that already. Welcome. So they're both a choice, just like being healthy. Exactly.
That every factor is, but I do think a majority of it is. And in most cases, for most people, being skinny or being fat is about willpower. It's about the environment you grow up in, sure, but who you choose to associate with, what sort of things you choose to listen to, who you choose to kind of have as your friends around you and support you. All of those things are choices that you can make that will lead you closer towards being one or the other.
I know what I do with my body. I know what I put into it day in and day out. I choose not to eat some days. I choose,
Yep. Me too.
How I want to look.
Well,
and I don't.
Not for those reasons.
Don't fault anyone for how they want to look or how they want to be, but I think it's a choice at the end of the day. I'm very, always wish-washy on how I want to be presented and if I want to gain weight or not. But the only person that's going to gain the weight at the end of the day is me and me myself.
For me,
So Craig says, I voted to be too fat to an unhealthy degree only because I dealt with skinny issues all my teens and 20s to a bad degree. No matter how much I ate, I could not gain weight, and it was scary. That's me right now, even still. So it's interesting that you say this, because I would still say that, while I've had issues with gaining weight, I've had issues with being skinny all throughout my life. I don't know that it's really halted me from doing much. That's what we thought was going to happen. I just turned 34 and still waiting on it. And so obviously, I have to take more proactive steps. But that's why I circled back and decided that I do want to talk about this, because the fact is that we talk about weight and health and fitness and stuff all the time, but it always, not always, but always comes from the angle of don't be too fat, unless it's a specific eating disorder. Then the only thing is, as long as you're not too fat, you're good. And as Craig is just saying, as you can see, it's not just that. It's not that simple.
It's calories in, calories out. Go to the gym, you'll get buff. Don't go to the gym, you won't get buff. I understand that there's genetics that could cause you to want to eat more, but even with the genetics that cause you to want to eat more, the same solution is calories in, calories out.
I think
that's often an excuse that I'll hear from people, one way or the other, not taking care of their weight themselves in general. And again, I am speaking of myself when I include myself in this. It's not necessarily not understanding that those are choices. It's identifying, why aren't those choices being made? Is it just that you don't know? Well, I know that, yes, it would be better for me to have eaten more today than I did, but I was busy and I didn't really think about it. And then I was like, oh snap, I got to eat something. And I didn't have much to eat. That's an issue with me not being prepared. That's an issue with, looking ahead, being organized, all that kind of stuff. But it's not as simple as just do better. Extra said, weight, in my opinion, has always depended on just managing what you eat and having a workout routine. Yeah, exactly. That seems to be time tested and true. Craig said, I'm 40 now and I average 170 pounds. And that's just it's just the heaviest of my life, but younger, I was only 130 average. Yeah, that's a big swing. I'm hoping for that swing to kind of fill me out, But again, it's not something that I am aware. I'm aware that it's not something that I just sit around and it's going to happen. But genetics are different for other people. That's not an excuse, though. So the craziest thing about weight gain and loss is that it seems to be more affected by fasting and healthier food choice than exercise. I have heard that.
The whole choice is, always determined on who they are. And it's not going to just be a thing done overnight.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of, I think it's like breaking the barrier and breaking a lot of things, not only your body, but also breaking your mental state.
Sure.
And again, that depends on who you are and what you want to go through.
No.
Disagreeers?
So now everybody who disagreed with the notion that being fat or skinny is a choice now is coming forward. And we know we're going to start hearing it. We're going to start hearing that, well, I didn't know that I was this and I didn't. Something like that. Is that MGK? Sure looks like him.
Like as a toddler, I always viewed myself as big. I grew up in a very poor home, so where my mom couldn't provide the meals that she could healthily. So when we would get free meals, even then it would be canned food, and it would be very much food that's not as edible. It was food for us, yes, but
this and I was very, 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 very lucky to wake up. I was very, very, very lucky to grow up in a home where the thought of where's my next why can I not talk? I was very lucky to grow up in a household where never once did I have to think, where is my next meal coming from? I'm very lucky that was the case. I know people. I went to school with people who that wasn't the case. And, but even still, you hear something like this and it's like, all right, well, if you're not getting enough food, then wouldn't it mean that you should be exactly what are we talking about? I understand that's the idea of nutrition, but if you're just I don't know. Let's see a little bit more before I go in.
Then I felt like once it reached a point where I was old enough to try to make my own choices, I made all of the wrong choices. I wasn't eating, and I was only eating like grapes and lettuce, and that was mainly because I was in a sport, and that sport just worked me out so hard.
I am very glad I let her talk before I went in. Craig said I'm on an OMAD intermittent fasting. Initially, it wasn't intentional, but due to my horrible job and sleep schedule, being an insomniac and staying up all night, sleeping half the day. Yeah, I been there too. I've been there too, and I think that that's another thing that we don't really talk about, how food affects your mental health in terms of like actual having depression. You can just be a normal, healthy person, and just based on your diet, you could lose your mind.
And it was to the point where I just was scared to eat. I didn't like it. I would only drink water.
When you were eating grapes and lettuce, were you thin?
I was the thinnest I could be.
Were you still big?
That means no. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. If what should we do? I'll just drop the Kick link in case where is that? Actually, Melted Mind Media. I don't even know where to find that. Can you drop the link to my Kick channel, please? And if they copyright us here, let's just move right over there.
I was still big, but that was the skinniest I've ever been, and that's coming from somebody who was only eating somewhat salads that are just fruit and lettuce and water and maybe ice right before a practice.
Do you think?
Hey, we got just a cog in the buckery. Welcome to the party. Long time no see. Always glad to see you. So it was always easier for me to lose weight rather than gain it. People always think eating less is the key, but it actually tanks your metabolism. The best is to eat healthy. Bingo. Well said. Welcome to the party. There we go. Thank you, Melted Mind Media. So I'm going to pin this to the top. If if anything goes awry, I will still be moving. Just head on over to Kick, and it's the same thing. Quantek said, it's crazy to think that low-income families choose more unhealthy boxed and ready-made foods than fresh vegetables and okay meats. I think it's been proven that fixing homemade meals is cheaper. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. That's kind of where I was going when she was talking about how, well, we didn't have this, and it's just, again, I've luckily gotten very good genetics when it comes to not gaining weight, and I never had to worry about that. So I'm talking about an experience that I don't have. Talking about an experience that I don't have. But it just seems like cope, at least to some extent. Yeah. 69 saying I really need to work on my eating habits. My work schedule doesn't help. Get off at 2 a.m. and end up eating and going to bed. It's not good. Yep. Yeah. Same thing. I'm up here with you guys until 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And then, I go to bed, and luckily I have the freedom to move my clients later in the day so I can have a somewhat normal sleep schedule. But the day still goes on, and people are still working. Clients are still calling, and it doesn't make it easy. Does not make it easy.
I think that right now you would not be capable of becoming a thin woman if you wanted to.
Great question. Listen to that again.
That right now you would not be capable of becoming a thin woman if you wanted to.
I possibly would be capable of becoming a thin woman, but since I was young, I was supposed to get blood tested probably when I was very, very young, and I never did. And they had mentioned that it could have been because of my weight and how that connects with my thyroid. I never made the connection.
That I want to know if you guys heard the same thing that I did. This very good question. Okay, well, you had stuff in your past. Now, do you think you could become a thin person? Yes, but when I was a kid and I was this and that. Okay, great. That's or not great, but I mean, okay, that's manageable. People go through things and it's not easy, and you can change your ways. But now you're just going right back into, well, I was this and that, and I don't know. That's the mentality that I was picking up on before. Craig said, actually, I've done a lot of research on the carnivore diet and or keto in general, and if including fruits and veggies. I think for 2024, I'm going to take the carnivore diet. Jordan and Michaela Peterson have really intrigued me about the health benefits of it all. Shout out to JBP. Yeah, man, let us know how that goes. I feel like that would be, when we're talking about, price, I don't know how cheap that would be, but, if you guys are doing it, then, and it's working for you, I might give it a try.
And I never had like that, like leaning parent to be like, go and get checked out, go and do this. Like your weight is probably not your fault. It was always like, your weight is your fault. So that's your issue.
I mean,
but how can you say that it's not if you didn't go check it out?
I also struggle with, thyroid and my own blood issues. I'm not quite sure, but I do see an endocrinologist and I go see a doctor. It's a choice to do the requisite steps. It's a choice to go grocery shopping instead of going to fast food when it's easy. It's a choice when you're grocery shopping to go to the outer aisles and like not go into the bread section and not go into the junk food section. These are all choices.
As a disabled woman, I can't do a lot of the things that people say calories in, calories.
Oh, okay. I thought she was going to say I can't buy the same foods as everybody else as a disabled woman. Like, okay. Sorry, just took me a second. Guantek said, I don't know about the carnivore diet, but low carb and high protein has been a game changer for me personally. Lots of energy, and I always feel full. There you go. Craig said, there's a ton of videos, articles, Telegram groups, etc., describing cheaper ways of maintaining the carnivore diet. Word up. Can't reach the top shelf. I can't reach the top shelf with the whole wheat. Yep. Me neither. That's what climbing is for.
Calories out. Oh, you gotta.
There might be some weird liability thing, so just in case, don't climb on the aisles or on the things at Target or ShopRite or wherever you're getting your food. Well, I mean, I thought she was gonna say, yeah, that's what I thought. That's where I thought she was going. I'm like, come on, lady. But all right, we're coming in hot. We're coming in hot. Let's slow it down. Take a chill pill.
Not go into the junk food section. These are all choices.
Our biases are showing. Our biases are showing. Our biases are showing. So as a disabled woman,
I can't do a lot of the things that people say calories in, calories out. Oh, you got to go work out and exert it. A lot of the things that are typical, oh, this is how you lose weight, put me in the hospital. I have to navigate weight differently. I have to look at it differently.
If anybody can tell me the one thing that we've noticed between the two plus-sized women who've spoken so far, one who is diagnosed with a disability, and one may be, but who knows, because she hasn't gone to the doctor. I've noticed something about them, and if somebody can tell me what it is, I'll send you $5 cash app.
My weight is the way it is because of medication, because doctors put me in this position, and I had to learn, okay, am I going to be so hateful of my own body that I am going to backlash?
Something we didn't touch on.
Put myself through extreme gym nights, through keeping myself from eating things that I should be able to eat. You should be able to have a balance. You should be able to go into the junk food aisle like other skinny people do and still not have to worry about gaining 20 pounds.
But I don't think...
No, I don't think she blamed the doctors, but which one of them? Which one of them is disabled again? This one's disabled. This one, according to her medical records, is not. So while I definitely hear a denial, refusal to take accountability, and blaming of doctors from this one, all I heard her say was that I physically can't do the same things that people who don't have disabilities have, which I have no issue with. That is a fact. Why is she bigger than one who physically cannot do it? Now, again, everybody's body is different, but when we take into account the reasons and the way that they're speaking, correlation is not causation, but correlation is definitely correlation. The chick just blame. Yeah, no.
I should be able to put me in this position differently. My weight is the way it is because of medication, because doctors put me in this position, and I had to learn, okay,
but again, she's not necessarily wrong about the fact that she was put, like, I get what you're saying, that she's blaming the doctors for putting her on the medication, but I think the larger point is that she didn't choose to need the medication. So it's like, I see where you're coming from, but she is expressing a situation that was thrust upon her versus something of her own choosing. Yep. Craig said, yeah, low carb and high protein is essential. Keto and carnivore is more extreme practice of keto, cutting out everything aside from protein to minimize allergies and inflammation. Word up. Yeah, Gomtek said healthy people do not go down the junk food aisle. I can attest to that because, again, as somebody who never got the proper messaging of even that you shouldn't eat this junk food, even if you're not fat. I spent a lot of my post-college years. I mean, you guys know I was a drug addict, so I really wasn't taking care of my body. But when it comes to food, it's like I'm putting in medical grade heroin into my body. I don't really care about whether or not I'm eating healthy. But once I started cleaning myself up, I just stopped going down those aisles. I stopped walking by the stuff that I knew that I would want to buy that wasn't good for me, or that I was too broke and would prefer to buy drugs. That's, neither here nor there. But the point is, Gomtek is right. Gomtek is right. Well, that's not what I said, though. I said the one that I thought of. Words are important. Roll the tape back.
Am I going to be so hateful of my own body that...
And post a picture of that damn stream deck, yo.
...that I am going to backlash?
All right,
am I going to be so hateful of my own body that I am going to backlash and put myself through extreme gym nights, through keeping myself from eating things that I should be able to eat? You should be able to have a balance. You should be able to go into the junk food aisle like other skinny people do and still not have to worry about gaining 20 pounds.
But I don't think skinny people go into this junk food aisle.
They
I think
certainly do.
They do.
They eat a lot of...
I didn't even send the message. Shout out to all of you who came through without even a reminder. But yeah, I mean, it's like, who said it? Who said it? Just excuses. Excuses. All we're hearing are it's already up there. All we're hearing are excuses. That's it. Shout out to Indie Film. Welcome to the party. Said being too fat or too skinny is a choice, except in some extreme medical situations. I wouldn't even say extreme. There's just some medical situations, like this lady, who have medications that mess with your metabolism and stuff like that. And that's it. That's okay. We can say that. Like, we don't have to, the idea behind what, fat phobia and body shape, the idea behind all of that was these people who had the extenuating circumstances shouldn't have been shamed because they couldn't do anything about it. But then the people who could do something about their weight decided to take, we should get that same thing too. Why? And I was just about to say, like, it's almost a little frustrating in terms of the weight, the bend of the overall message to bring in somebody who's going to at least take up that much airtime when they have a disability, because that's kind of an aside. Obviously, you're the exception to the rule. We're not saying your voice doesn't matter or anything like that. But when it comes to how healthy people, or rather how people who have the capacity to be healthy choose to or not to be healthy, then it's your circumstance is it's muddying the waters. It is muddying the waters. Gavin Gooby said a lot of skinny people brag how much they actually eat, but big meals ain't total calories a day that big people put down, often when no one's looking. A good point. That's, I think, one of the things that allowed me to maintain a healthy weight is the fact that I'm constantly snacking. I've always got something next to me. Now, you could argue that kind of goes towards me not wanting to sit down and have full meals, but great point. People who are fat, who are, obese, do both. They'll sit down and have a big meal, and then they'll bring snacks with them to watch a movie after, and then they have something on the night table before bed. It's like choices. Greg said, I firmly believe carnivore diets will lead to massive weight loss, but provide all the necessary nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and proteins needed to have all the energy you need to power through the day. Sounds good. Yeah, weight loss. Word up. What do we got in the disciple chat? Hey, there we go. Let's take a look here. Hold on. Give me this. Make sure we don't Alex, anybody's... Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Shout out to Melted Mind Media, the owner of the original Indian Jesus Stream Deck. Now we got our own with a whole bunch of new sounds, and I can't wait to see what you've come up with. All right, dive it back in.
I don't think skinny people go into this junk food aisle.
They
I think
certainly do.
They do. I eat a lot of junk food.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of junk
yeah.
food.
I mean,
it's not that people just do not eat this stuff. Like, it's not that nobody who is healthy eats it and only people who are fat eat it. But for the most part, it's a lot of people just don't. And the people who do, if they're not fat, then they're not relevant to this conversation.
DoorDash would tell you otherwise.
There's a thing called set points. There's a ton of research on it that your body likes to be at specific weights. It likes to be in a specific way. So if you are fighting yourself to lose weight by not eating, over exercising, and you are damn near killing yourself to be at a specific weight, your body's unhappy.
Oh, now we have to make our body happy. We have to make our body happy. X-Frost is saying, as someone who was on meds due to ADHD and bipolar, I can attest to meds messing with your metabolism. It makes it ultimately harder to maintain a healthy weight. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know that there's anybody who would argue with that. Now, the first thing is that you didn't say it makes it impossible. Just saying. And second of all, I'm not saying this to you. I'm just saying in general to somebody who is in this situation. It's harder, but it's not impossible. There's a lot of stuff that's harder for me because I'm shorter, but I don't cry about it and not do it. I just have to work a little bit harder. And then the other thing is that, again, nobody, the fat phobia people, they are not the ones that are getting this, or pushing for this normalization of unhealthiness. That's not what we're talking about. Shout out to Virgil all the way from Manchester, England. Welcome to the party. Happy New Year to you as well. And again, yes, I will. Actually, I'm not promising, but I think I will be here on New Year's to ring in the new year with you guys. I don't know. Well, I might put up a poll on the community tab. I'm not sitting here by my goddamn self, but if you guys are chilling. Gomzek said, oh yeah, my body tells me when I want something, so I go with it. That's never let anybody down a bad path. Yeah, if it feels good, do it, right? Extra says, I was skinny as can be when I was on the meds. Now that I'm off it, it's still 3 years later and hard to manage weight. Yeah, and so these are the situations where we don't want to make X-Frost feel like he's a bad person for managing his weight. But I mean, X-Frost, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that if that's something that's important to you, and you're working on your shit, and maybe you're working, but you let some shit slack. If your boys are like, hey, maybe you need to get back in there, you're getting a little pudgy, that's not the worst thing in the world, is it? It may not it may not make your body feel happy, but ultimately, it's like, all right, yes, I have to spend a lot more effort managing my weight because of my meds. And so if I have people who are willing to tell me, hey, this is what you need to do, then those are friends. Those are not enemies. These people would strongly disagree. Guys, can I just get 2 more likes on the video, please? Just two. Thank you so much.
You are damn near killing yourself to be at a specific weight. Your body's unhappy.
It's important to know
who is your body at a specific weight, or maybe just like in general a healthy weight range.
Note that a choice can be harder for people to make due to conditions in their life.
Yes.
Doesn't make it impossible.
It's still a choice.
Bingo.
I could say that I had food addiction. I looked to food when I was stressed and this and that and this. And so it's harder for me to choose it than for someone who has like the perfect lifestyle, someone who has parents who are giving them this and that and this. But I definitely still acknowledge that it was my choice. At the end of the day, when I go there and I look and I see, should I order a second hamburger? I'm the one choosing whether or not I order that second hamburger. I'm the one making that choice.
I would.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of people who, certainly that guy, but even myself, I'm killing myself being at my weight. So ever since I went to the doctor and realized how far I let this slip, again, something that I'm not used to paying attention to because I was always just a skinny guy. And then I realized like, oh, that's not like just a skinny guy. That's like unhealthy. And so since then, I've realized, oh, something needs to change. I actually need to fix the habits in my life. I mean, it's all over the place. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that, in terms of finding the right foods that I can, keep in the home, prepare, afford, and not let it go bad. Because again, I'm a tiny dude living by himself, so it's a lot. But I'm gonna actually start working with somebody on it. Because again, I've realized that if I don't fix it, I'm going to die. I don't want that. Shout out to Hector Estrada. Welcome to the party. Said, hey man, as a doctor, isn't it like super important to get your blood work done before going on a strict clean diet cut? Yes, absolutely. Great point. Welcome to the party, and thank you for saying that. If you are going to, none of this is advice. None of this is advice for anything. But as Hector is saying, if you are deciding to do one of these things on your own without my input, then it would be a good idea to first get your blood done. Smart. Welcome to the party, Hector. Excited, tons of eggs every day, both fried and scrambled. That's how I start the day. There you go. Yeah, that's a big one. I like eggs, so I definitely got to get more of that in my diet. But the problem is that they go bad so fast. And they're expensive. So either I can buy the smaller ones and pay out the ass for it, or I can get the bigger ones and try to make sure I eat them. But they go bad. You can only eat so much. You can only, as much as what the fat chick here was saying was cope. It is true. The other day I threw up because I ate too much food. Well, I ate too fast, but I was like, all right, I want to get this down because it was starting to get later in the day. And I wanted to start on, my midday protein shake, and I still hadn't finished my breakfast. So I was like, all right, let me just woof it down. It was not a good day. It was not fun. And so it's definitely a real thing. Now, again, as we have our next prompt, I would rather be skinny than fat. You're goddamn right I would step forward. You're goddamn right I would step forward. I mean, I'm already short. Can you imagine being 5'4" and like gigantic? Well, I guess you can't. That's literally impossible. But you know what I mean. When I buy larger packs, more cost effective because I go through them so fast. I need to get the ball rolling, and then once I build up the appetite, then I'll be good. It's right now where it's just like, my body doesn't want any more of this. It's so used to being like, dude, are you sure? Are you sure you want to stretch your stomach this way? We might not have food, or you might be busy, or you might be doing this, and you're going to be hungry as hell, and you're going to be in the middle of something. You're going to be driving halfway across the state. You're going to be doing this and that, and you're not going to have any food. Are you sure you wouldn't rather just shut it down and just be good? That's what it is, man.
Rather be skinny than fat.
So we had an hour poll. 58% of you said too skinny, and 41% said too fat. Interesting. So I'm curious why. I'm curious why you answered the way you did. So Craig already talked to us about how he's already experienced being too skinny and he'd rather be too fat. What about the rest of you guys? What did you say and why?
And the agreeers, please step forward.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Nothing's happening there. Don't worry about that. We are not breaking any terms of service. Come on. See, back in the day, it would just do what it was supposed to do. All right, so is it the same through? No. Okay, so a dude's back here, but we have a too skinny, one fat panel here. Gomtech said being skinnier and then putting on muscle is just more aesthetically pleasing than the opposite. Thank heavens. Yeah, I've always thought about like the glow up. Like at a certain point, I'm eventually gonna have to, which has come, but eventually I'm like, eventually I'm gonna have to, start working out, eating healthy, all that stuff. And once I start getting, you guys are gonna know it's gonna. Let's go.
I think there's a lot of different struggles when it comes to being a bit bigger. And I have a sister that is she's 400 pounds and she struggles a lot. She has lymphedema and the to shower is really, really hard. So I do think for like an overall happy life and like zero struggle, I think I'd rather be skinny.
Yup.
I think that it is common in society to want to be skinny. I think the average person typically wants to be skinny. I'm actually surprised that I didn't see more people come forward on that question. People treat you better. It is what is considered the standard of beauty. Your life expectancy is longer. You tend to be healthier.
I'm also
Yeah, Hector's saying, I mean, I'm not going to take over the show with my personal, intake, but no, that's part of the problem is that I wasn't doing any of that. And so now, I'm talking to people, doctors, friends who are in different industries to, get myself where I should be. So why would you prefer to be fat? As somebody who's never been fat, I could not imagine wanting to be fat for any reason. Richard said, anywho, why are Manchester, England birds so fussy? I have an excellent tent in a shop doorway here. What's the problem with these chicks? I don't know, Virgil. I don't know. Some questions we may never know.
also really tall. I'm 6'6".
Damn!
So I kind of wish I could just pick a single struggle because finding the clothes and things like that when you're bigger both ways can make it really hard. So
feels you, bro. Feels you, bro. We are the direct opposite.
if I was skinnier, at least that's one less thing I have to worry about. But also, I've got 2 kids and a wife, and I'm taking care of them. And as you pointed out, I definitely think that I'm at less health risks if I'm a skinnier person, if I'm a healthier person in that capacity. And I would much rather be that so that I could be around for my kids long.
And again, that doesn't mean that you are healthy because you are skinny. But that's why when I did the poll, I put to an unhealthy degree. Because they're just saying skinny and fat. Like, well, obviously, healthy and skinny typically go together. Fat and healthy typically do not. So if we're just saying based on which would you rather be skinny or fat, that's a very different question than if you had to be obese or me. Which would you be? Captain Gooby says I've always been physically active. Thought it said when I read it on here, I thought it said physically attractive. I'm like, all right, bro. Excuse me. Captain Gooby said, I've always been physically active and just ate whatever I want. At 37, though, I realized weight's not everything, though, with diet. Got in mind those kidneys and stuff. Yep. I am right there behind you at 34, bro. Right there behind you. And when I realized how, I didn't realize that I could lose that much weight without noticing. I figured I would have noticed. So the fact that I didn't notice, that was a wake-up call. It was like, oh, okay, this isn't something that's just like, because even with drugs, it's just like, all right, I can tell when I'm in control of this and when it's going too far. And I mean, I guess other people can't, but I was pretty decent with it. And there's a feeling. There's like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel a little bit out of control. I guess drugs and not eating are not exactly the same thing, but I didn't notice. And that was the wake-up call. The amount of weight that I had lost just not being active, not eating well, over, I don't know how, maybe, I mean, it took years, but something has to change,
Okay.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
So these are the people who would rather be fat than skinny.
I'm speaking as
Interestingly, all but one of the fat people said they want to be fat.
someone who actually was a former smaller person. And I had the most body insecurities when I was small. I was constantly living in fear of gaining weight and having people tell me, oh, don't gain weight, don't do this, make sure that your weight is the same. And once I finally gained weight, I realized that first off, life wasn't over. I didn't feel any need to not engage in life the previous way that I had. And the attention that I got was different. But even as a smaller person, you get negative attention. And rather than trying to control my body to avoid that negative attention, I would prefer to address the situation as a society, make it more accessible for everybody to where we aren't feeling like I have to be a certain way that's normal in order to be treated like a human being and respected.
And I think that's the core of what all of this comes down to is I want to be treated like a human being and respected. And that should be the case off rip. But you see too many fat people who are not nice people. And then they expect to be treated like with respect. Like that's fat has nothing to do with this. You're just a piece of shit. Craig said the greatest thing about the carnivore is calorie counting isn't even a thing. Eat as much different types of meats as you want to eat. Your body craves until you're full, and then you naturally stop. Your body tells you when you're hungry and when you're not. You will adjust over time. Sounding better and better. I do love me a good steak.
If I could count here, because I was a bit bigger when I was younger, and that's when I was the most insecure. I would look in the mirror. I did have family members that were skinny, but then I had a family member that was much bigger.
Yeah, that's very, it almost seems like cope that you'd say, oh, well, when I was small, I didn't even like myself. But now that I'm fat and I had no choice in the matter, I like it better.
And just the way that I perceive myself, I hated it.
Actually, yeah. Well, we got to double back on that point, because remember that in the beginning, where is it? Remember that Melted My Media caught that she was blaming the doctors. And as fair as that is for somebody who has some type of medical condition that affects their weight, while it's not actually the doctors, it's also not as much you as an otherwise healthy person who is of the wrong weight. What are you blaming the doctors for if you prefer to be the weight you are versus being skinnier? Sounds like cope to me. Captain Gooby says we're supposed to be hungry for hours every day. That's normal in nature. Cavemen didn't have fridges. I don't think breakfast was so much a thing. You had to go kill it first. Yep. And I mean, obviously, it's an amazing thing that we have technology to be able to be so far away from needing food constantly in terms of not having it. But yeah, it's just gone too far. Gone too far. All right, let's back this up. But I just, that struck me odd when the big lady who's saying that it's so sad that the doctors made me this way. Then in the very next question, she's like, I like this better. What? Then shouldn't you be thanking the doctors? I don't know. Copeaholic.
Bigger when I was younger, and that's when I was the most insecure. I would look in the mirror. I did have family members that were skinny, but then I had a family member that was much bigger, and just the way that I perceived myself, I hated it. And
this is what you would expect, right?
Even became anorexic to like not be big.
Yeah. How often do I talk about how with the trans thing going on now? When I was in middle school and high school, being anorexic was the thing. It was the disorder that was the social contagion.
I don't think skinny always equates to being healthy.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I am fairly skinny. I'm 6'5". I'm 140 pounds last time I checked, and I'm severely underweight. And I know about this on a day-to-day basis. That being said, I don't know where I'd want to lean at an appropriate weight level, but I think it's important to understand for some skinny people, we're not living a great life by any means. And sometimes I feel like that's always kind of lost in translation when they see someone who's really skinny.
Yeah. I can't, this is the message when it comes to weight, fitness, all of that. This is why I came back and I was like, I do need to talk about this because enough people don't talk about it. And while again, this guy's kind of a weenie, like, again, you can tell when there's somebody who's like, yeah, this is what it is. Or my height. Yeah, I'm a short guy, and it is what it is, but hey, I'm da-da-da-da-da. It's like, well, I never get a girlfriend because every time I'm out with my friends, then the girls always look at the taller guys. And so, without knowing anything else, you can definitely hear a tone of what you're trying to portray. And it's just, ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. So let's just do one or two. So put a 1 in the chat if you think that gaining weight is harder. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that losing weight is harder. No qualifiers, just gaining weight or losing weight. Put a 1 in the chat if you think gaining weight is harder, and put a 2 if you think losing. We'll keep this up for a little. They're in order. So gaining weight is 1, losing it is 2.
I guess it depends on what you mean when you think of the term skinny. Are you thinking of just like an average weight person?
Exactly.
Or are you thinking of how you are now?
I'm the average weight for like women in America.
Yeah. Copeaholic! Come on. I mean, you know what? You might be the average weight. That's a terrible, horrible, very bad, no good thing. Holy shit. Holy shit. So the poll, what is harder, gaining weight or losing weight? Multimedia Media said losing weight. Captain said gaining weight. Hector says losing. Ruthless, welcome to the party. Whatever, welcome to the party. Both say losing weight. Bombtech 2, 1. and then we're getting to the cope. Yeah, I'm very surprised how split this is, but because I wasn't expecting it, and now that I'm seeing it, it does make a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense because there's people who it's very like it's not just one thing of being skinny or being fat, where you have the experience like being even being a parent versus not being a parent is a little bit more concrete because like what's fat to you and what's fat, in your circles versus what's fat, according to the BMI and all that stuff. It's ill-defined. So I don't know. Craig, so I think it depends on where the person is in their life and their metabolism. I don't believe there is one right answer. Yeah. And I'm clearly we need to for somebody like me to gain weight, it would be a lot easier than somebody like me to lose weight. So it really depends on a lot of things. But if we're just putting it out there, 2 variables, which is harder? Gavin Gooby said, if I stop working out, I definitely gain weight and look like my brother. I don't know what your brother looks like, but I'll take your word for it. Multimedia Media said, according to the 2021 report from the National Center of Health for Health Statistics, the average weight of a woman in the U.S. over the age of 20 was 170 pounds. Meanwhile, the average height of a woman in the U.S. was reported at 63.5 inches, which is what, 5'3", 5'3.5". Honey, you are not 170 pounds. I'd say about 280, probably about 5'6", 5'7". Just guessing. I'd have to close a close genetic reference to what I could look like. Yeah, I mean, and even still, just like the girl in the hat is saying, she has bigger family members and smaller family members. I'm sure you guys have people that are bigger than you and smaller than you in your family. It's just really weird how it all works out. Her boobs are alone. Oh, let's say.
So if we're talking about an average.
Oh, so we're just gonna go with that. We're just gonna accept that she just said that this is the national average. Okay, all right. All it took for me was getting a dad bod and not caring and just eating what I wanted. The work I'm putting in now to lose is so much harder. Exactly. And so that's why, gaining weight for Guam Tech is going to be much easier than it is gaining weight for me. So very, very different depending on who you are. Whatever says it's all in the carbs and sugar intake. Yep. All right. Let's, I just got to see this again. I cannot, I would expect at least, what's her name? I know her from somewhere. It might have been another one of these, but I think her name is Lauren De Laguna or something. But she's supposed to be based, and her whole thing is like the fat phobia or the body positivity is bullshit.
Skinny. Are you thinking of just like an average weight person, or are you thinking of how you are now?
I'm the average weight for women in America. So if we're talking about an average.
Well, first of all, he was asking the dude. So the average weight for women is not even relevant here.
I'm going to be the closest. If your biggest priority is to be at a smaller body, you need to reassess your priorities.
Yeah, not focused on health.
Yeah.
Why? How do you know that somebody isn't very healthy in all areas of their life except body fat percentage? Emma69 said, I know, and I love me some sugar and carbs, which breaks down sugar even more. Sugar is the most popular type of poison in modern history. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? Cheers to sugar. The hold that it's got on us.
At a smaller body, you need to reassess your priorities.
Not focus on health.
Yeah.
And the immediate tie between skinniness and health, like you emphasized, there is such a gap between, one, the research, because the research has a huge fat phobic bias in it.
Okay, how is that the case? How does the research have a huge fat phobic bias in it? By not including people who didn't exist of your size 10 years ago? We got to relate to like gaining weight. Like, what is the bias? Because I'm pretty sure that we would have heard about this.
And there has been research.
But then again, if you talk about how there's a trans bias in other areas of science, oh, you don't trust the science?
That shows that they aren't, even especially during, let's say, COVID and the correlation between obesity. They rushed through those studies so fast because in society's mind, oh, of course a fat person is going to equal someone who's going to get sick faster, is going to get sick easier. It was an easy jump. So they didn't do all of the testing that they were supposed to do.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff they didn't do that they were supposed to do, but call me crazy, but I do think that fat people being more at risk than not fat people was a general rule of thumb with everything. Thanks for the like, Virgil. Hey, we got, did I already say hi? You were here before, right? Oh, you said you're driving or something. Welcome back. Welcome back. Said, oh no, she is not average. I'm home now and caught up watching on 1.5 speed. There we go. There we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Craig said, the bias swings towards being praised for overweight these days. How do they not see that? Because privilege is invisible to those who experience it. Privilege is invisible to those who experience it. Whatever said, the fat lady at the circus was like 220 and 5'3" in the old days. Yeah. The cope is killing me.
They didn't check their bias.
So
they
if
didn't
by
check.
saying the study is biased,
There you go. Finally, speaking up.
you're saying that the study didn't account for the variable that obesity may also take a factor into. It's just that there's so many variables in humanity that these pharmaceutical companies could only account for so many during their trials. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're biased. However, you want to talk about bias in studies, actually recently we've been doing the opposite. So
there you go.
A lot of our studies have been based on BMI. And so we've been showing that, oh, fat people aren't necessarily extremely unhealthy if we look at people with a certain BMI. However, bodybuilders also have a really high BMI. And so they get counted into that category. And so it wasn't until very recently that they equated for that mistake. And it shows, oh my goodness, being fat is actually extremely unhealthy. Like,
what? Being fat is unhealthy? Like a lot? No. I never would have guessed it. I never would have guessed it.
Way more unhealthy than we ever realized.
You can't gauge health by looking at somebody.
You can gauge health by weighing somebody, though.
Yeah. Like none of my health issues, all of them precipitated my weight gain. But I always.
Okay, but now you have the weight gain and you are not healthy. You have whatever issues that you need to take your medication for. So nobody's saying you are lazy. But that doesn't mean that you are healthy. By your own words, you have an issue that you need to take medicine for that creates you weight issues. And again, that doesn't, you got it, buddy, you got it, keep on going, keep on going. That doesn't mean that the assumption is that, I agree, the assumption that skinny does not equal healthy. However, that does not mean that because it is true that skinny does not equal healthy, the inverse does not become true. So just because skinny does not equal healthy doesn't mean that fat equals healthy. That's what these people are trying to push. That's what they're trying to say. Context said, for somebody to not believe that a fat body is constantly under stress and pressure due to unhealthy living wouldn't be more affected by COVID. It is just mind-boggling. Welcome to America. Welcome to the internet. Whatever said the Ziploc bag with one cookie and a big piece of fudge bark. Oof, sounds good. Sounds good. Nah, I can't do the peppermint. I can't do. I was just. Some of you guys were in the after party. I think it was the Christmas one, or it might have been the Saturday before. Either way, I was walking with Morty, and my neighbor was out there, and I was like, "Hey, yo, I'm about to go eat the chocolate eclair." It had peppermint bark, or not. It's not fudge bark, but the peppermint, flakes on it. I was like, "Oh, come on!" I just put it it was in a bag, and I just brought it upstairs with me. There was like a different donut and that, and I was so excited. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna save the eclair." So it's dark, right? I'm eating the donut, done, whatever. Get this thing out. Make sure don't get too much of the frosting on the bag. Either way, But I gotta take a bite and a crunch, and I don't like minty stuff. I don't hate it, but especially when you're not prepared for it. God damn. 169 said, yeah, the BMI stuff was just BS for a while. I have a friend who works out, damn near 0% body fat, and his BMI was considered out of range. Yeah. But again, that they've now adjusted. I forget what the new thing that they use is. But they've adjusted that, and as she's talking about, they are aware of this now. They have addressed this. This isn't new. Almost every sickness and disease is correlated with unhealthy living and diets. Virgil said, "I'm 50 stone. My neighbor's wife is okay with that. My wife isn't." There you go. Good one. Nah, can't even. It's like eating toothpaste. It's like eating toothpaste. Why are we eating toothpaste? Nah.
Always get assumed.
See, like, I fucks with some peppermint schnapps. But in hot chocolate? How dare you? That's where Bailey's belong. How dare you? Craig said, most of my sugar intake comes from added sugars in my coffee, like these Dunkin' Donuts, chocolate caramel, frozen frappe, or something similar. I'm addicted to coffee. That is another one, guys. That is another one. Thank you. Thankfully, I part of what I think started this precipitous weight decline a few years ago, because remember, I hadn't paid attention to this shit in years, was when I worked in an Italian restaurant, and they had one of the high-end espresso machines. I would go, so like average day, go into work 4 p.m., right? And I'm hungover from the night before or whatever. So go in, first thing, I don't have any breakfast, it's 4 p.m., I gotta go to work. Go in, first thing I do is a triple espresso. Then throughout the shift, I'm banging shots of espresso here and there just to keep myself going. Then after work, I'm not hungry because I've got 7 million milligrams of caffeine in me, but that won't stop me from drinking. So now I'm drinking with nothing in my stomach except coffee. Then I fall asleep and repeat almost every day for years. So I quit coffee. I love coffee, but I couldn't do it. The caffeine was too much. It was too much. I don't know. That's a good question. All right, where were we here?
My health issues, all of them precipitated my weight gain, but I always get assumed, oh, don't you want to be skinny so that you don't have a cane anymore and you don't feel the way you feel? And it's like, no, because I have lupus and I'm always going to feel like.
Okay, but don't you wish you didn't have lupus is the point of the question?
It's gonna happen.
Like I have CRPS. It's going to deteriorate. It's going to continue.
America has an obesity problem.
Yo, look at the... God damn it. Just momentarily. What did I miss here? Oh, yeah, 50 stone, like small ones or big ones. What is... the stone is like 14 pounds, right? I think that's right. Hazelnut for the win. Hazelnut for the win. But yeah, look at
continue.
America.
Look at the community post. And it's so our prompt, if you're just listening, America has an obesity problem. 98%. that includes all of the fat people too. 98% said yes, America has an obesity problem. Now, give me a 1, 2, 3, or 4, or I guess 0. From 0 to 4, 5 options. How many of the fat people do you think are going to step forward? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4. How many of the fat people do you think are going to agree with the notion that America has an obesity problem? I'm going to say 1. I'm going to say 1. What do you guys say? Okay, and 169 is saying 1. We got 1 from Melted Mind Media. Soul saying 2. All right. Yeah, it's definitely Dune. Yep. Hector's saying 2 max. All right, and Craig says 1. Anybody else? All right, here we go.
Has an obesity problem.
And we know that the skinny ones are gonna step forward. If anything, this guy is not gonna step forward. If any of them do, but I think all of them and him.
Problem.
Wow. Oh. Okay. All right. Fair.
Oh, absolutely.
Really? So skinny dude stepped forward, but black beanie girl didn't. I'm trying to just game plan how this conversation is going to go, and I'm lost. Let's figure it out.
Pretty clear. You look at the weight of the average American, you see how obesity has affected not just children. I mean, the fact that we have more younger and younger people who are looking heavier and heavier, and you see that, like, you know, the way that weight affects us as a society, and you compare that to how we were in the past. Now, not that we should always, you know, we shouldn't compare ourselves to the era of the Great Depression when
I'm surprised too.
People just couldn't find food, of course, but people are heavier now in an unhealthy way, and people are eating unhealthy. They are eating it through unhealthy access to food.
Right. And so certainly you could talk about the Depression and when there literally just wasn't food. That's one thing. But let's even fast forward to the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s. You didn't really start, like, you might see a fat person and, like, the idea of America was the fat guy. It's not like you had to go look for them. But now, they don't have them. All of the skinny people in America are on your screen right now. We're all here. It's these 4 and me. No, I'm just kidding. But the way things have changed. It's just another thing. If the only thing that we have seen change in the past 5, 7, 10, whatever, the last recent era was weight gain, then we could very easily pinpoint why people are gaining weight and fix that issue and move on with our lives. The problem is that it's not this or that or that or that or that or that or that. Exactly. It's this, but with everything. It's not just food. Exactly. It has America has an unhealthy consumption problem. We just need to, and I am certainly guilty. I am absolutely guilty. But we just constantly stuff and food and decadence and, you know, a curved monitor instead of just getting 2 cheap monitors. Why do I have a curved monitor? It's not even convenient. I can't full screen anything. Get 2 monitors. Don't spend the money on a curved monitor unless you really need it for a specific reason. Decadence. And so for some people, yes, it comes out with food. For some people, it comes out with drugs. For some people, it comes out with video games. For some people, it comes out with whatever. But everything is being maxed out by somebody at all times. And that is not sustainable.
They're eating diets high in seed oils. They're eating high corn syrup. They're doing all this kind of stuff that's not good for them that we didn't used to do. And it's bad. It's not a good thing. It's an epidemic. It needs to be quashed in some capacity.
Yep. Great example is that I don't think there's anything inherently wrong if you partake, but it's going way too far. Shout out to Rhett in action. Welcome to the party. What is good, brother? Always good to see ya. Another awesome gamer YouTuber. Definitely go check out his channel if you are into that. Welcome to the party. Melton said I have 27 in lightly curved monitors. They're great. Well, yeah, I have the 27 and I have the, I don't even remember what this is. 90. It's literally the entire size of my desk. And I'm like, okay, I'll get the equipment I need. Because remember, this is we're coming up on all this stuff I got from the Black Friday sales. I couldn't afford all this shit, especially before the channel was monetized. So I used all the Black Friday sales. I used all my savings. I went into debt to make sure I got stuff. And then like the Stream Deck isn't fucking going through the system. The mouse wasn't working. I couldn't get StreamYard to work. All that stuff. And those are first world problems. But y'all remember how mad I was. Comment of the night! Comment of the night! Oh my God! Dilly dilly to the comment of the night. Oh, I love it. That was hilarious. M69 said, a big thing that's changed is attitude. Yep. We can't stand for anyone to call us out for bad choices. Then we place a higher value on our feelings. Any feeling of being uncomfortable is now seen as bad. Yeah, this, I forget. I think this is related to like internal versus external locus of control. I think it's something slightly different. But the notion that when we look at other people, we tend to see, somebody driving in a bad way. Like, oh, you're a fucking moron. When we're driving, we make a little mistake and somebody beeps it. You're like, yo, I just made a little mistake. I'm not a bad person. And it's the way that we encode these things. And when it comes to ourselves, we're so good at acting like we're perfect, even though we know that we're not. And the other way around as well. It's sad. It's sad. That's what she said. So the Soul said margarine and seed oils are very bad. Goes back to big companies trying to find out how to market waste and buy products as healthy innovations. Yeah. Good one. Craig said facts don't care about your feelings. Indeed. Context said the other issue affecting America is a lack of movement as well. Schools here are literally cutting out recess and gym requirements, and these kids are lazy because of it. Yep. It's all coalescing. None of these things are inherently the worst thing that's going to take humanity down. It's the fact that they're all happening at once. It's all happening at once, and it's everywhere.
It's bad. It's not a good thing. It's an epidemic. It needs to be quashed in some capacity.
There's so much access to just anything. Yeah. Like it's so.
This is exactly what I was thinking of.
Crazy these days, and I'm so surprised that we're actually supporting a lot of this, and there's always people like, like it's fine that we have like 3 McDonald's like on the same street. And it's just.
It is fine that we have 3 McDonald's on the same street. I would not vote for that in my home, in my hometown. But if people want that, then that's fine. 1 McDonald's, 2 McDonald's, 3 McDonald's, 4. You're either gonna eat the shit or you're not. Craig said the most active they get is participating in a woke protest. Yep, you got him. I said I've been very skinny. I have been very skinny. It's actually crazy how much I eat compared to how I weigh. Who said it before, Craig? That was you, right? That was you. Exactly what they said. Hey, shout out to Indie Film. Welcome. Thank you so much. Morty is hiding right now. He is terrified. I did show a picture of proof, but I have his treats here. He will definitely get them. 5 gifted memberships. Shout out to Alan, Mackenzie, Ian Undercover, Steve, and RoboNeck666. Make sure you head to the Discord channel and send me a DM, because with your gifted membership, you get access to the whole damn thing. Thank you, sir. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Hey, what's good, Godfrey? Thank you, Indie Film.
Just like we don't think that this is adding to the problem.
What I think is really sad about that is so many people in America just see the profit in it. I don't want to say I know that these people know the problem, but it's like, how can you not see the problem? They have to see it and just not care. They have to just be like, well, we're gaining profit. Do you see how much this McDonald's is making? Put another one across the street. Like, that's just like how it is.
It's the corporations, it's the medical industry.
Why are they on this point of, well, if there's more McDonald's, then everybody's going to die? You could put 17 McDonald's around my house, and I would eat McDonald's the same amount. Maybe once a month. Maybe once a month. Because you know what? That's how often I even want McDonald's in the first place.
Having a fat country makes us money.
It doesn't help that our cities aren't walkable either. America is a country of non-walkable
That is why I wavered a little bit, because I think we have a problem with how to treat obesity.
Where my mods at? Damn. I just dropped the link to the Discord. If you have not already joined, it is free to join. It's free to join. We got the free chat channel. You can hang out and talk with everybody. But if you join as a member, or if you are gifted a membership from Indie Film here, then just send me a DM. You will get the permissions for all of the channels, including the after show channel, where after the stream here, we go into there. We don't have to worry about any YouTube censors, and you're not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. You can come if you want to, but you don't have to. Either way, it's a grand old time. Come and join us.
I think we have a problem with how to make it so that it is not an epidemic.
God damn it.
This is a systemic thing, that we are in a society and in an environment.
We live in a
that breeds
society.
This, and we are doing it to ourselves. We are doing it to our children, and our corporations and our industries are doing it to us, and they aren't having to take responsibility.
And they're encouraging it with media. So
And the mukbangs, I was literally gonna bring that up. The mukbangs and like all those videos that just come up to
it's
trends. For
insane.
people
not
to do
only
it as
the
well.
mukbangs, but also like Lizzo and other big like media.
I'm sorry.
That's-
There's a
that's
very
different,
big difference between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus a
I love
Lizzo
myself
who's saying
fat.
accept me
Yeah.
the way I am.
She's not.
There's a big difference there between accept me the way I am and you should be this way. There's even the accept me the way I am. It's not the worst, it's not the best, but it's definitely not as good as you should be fat and you are beautiful if you are fat. Shout out to Set Me On Fire. Welcome to the Discord server. If you are somebody who is a member or just got one, make sure you send me a DM so you can get the perms for the full server. Where are we here? Gomtech said, praise the Emperor. Godfrey has joined the chat. Red said, fat acceptance is weird. Do not be happy. You are eating yourself. Well, actually, technically, it's the other way around. Being skinny is when you are eating yourself. It's everything else that you're eating when you're fat. When you don't have the food in your body, then I think it's something about my calcium levels are low. And so that's because I'm not getting enough calcium from the food that I eat. So my body is literally taking calcium from my bones, from my teeth, from my hair, from my nails. That's why I was like, oh shit, not good. Yeah, we live in a society bottom text, but it's not good. And yeah, as much as fast food has gone up, it's not even worth it. Exactly. $18 for a dang Taco Bell party pack? What? Bruh. Taco Bell used to be the cheap one. When you couldn't afford the dollar menu because you spent all your money on drugs, you go to Taco Bell and get a 69-cent taco. And now it's $18 for a party pack. God damn. Shout out to Zippy. Were you here already? Whatever. Welcome to the party. Glumsec said, holy shit. And yeah, just as a warning, guys, as there's more of you, I'm not going to be able to remember who's here and who's not. Don't take it personally. I'm doing my best. Glumsec said, holy shit, though. It does seem like the blame game is being used more than personal responsibility. You can choose not to support the corporations that are feeding you trash. Bingo. Exactly. And so it kills me how everybody in this group, even on both sides, are all on board. It's the corporations, the government, the big media that's making us fat. Take responsibility for your own actions. Seconded by Red. Absolutely.
People go out and get.
But also like Lizzo and other big like media.
I don't know.
Lizzo's
I'm
very
sorry.
popular.
I'm sorry. I think Lizzo is beautiful.
There's a big
yeah.
difference between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus a
I love
Lizzo who's
myself
saying
fat.
accept me
Yeah.
the way I am.
She's not just saying accept me the way I am. She's dressing extremely scantily clad and then saying if you don't.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. So now this is the kind of stuff that I want you guys looking at. So pay attention to the landscape. We have a bunch of people here who are saying Lizzo is the version of fatness that we think is good. Now, I think her name's Laura, shifts the goalpost a little bit. And she's saying, well, it's not just that she's fat. It's that she's fat and she's, twerking and wearing all this stuff. Now that, I mean, sparks are about to fly because now we're talking about, well, if if a skinny person does this, it's okay, but a fat person, it's not. Why is that? And I mean, that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. So I don't think this was the right avenue to go down because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm pretty sure, not sure, not certain sure, but I'm pretty sure that Lizzo has, been the poster child for the whole, you can be fat and beautiful thing, which there's not a huge difference between accept me the way that I am and you should be accepted the way you are no matter how you, there's not a big difference there. There's not a big difference. These girls got to shut up and let me be as fat as I want. Fat's our best vibe. Yup. Guam Texas, it always starts out as just accept me and ends up, you better, yeah, just accept. You just accept me. And then it ends, you better accept me or else. Yep. So it agrees with any films, and it makes it doubly hard to eat healthy when Big Ag has depleted the soils to the point that almost all produce is less nutritious than it was even 50 years ago. So the soul living up to her name. Colette, welcome to the party. So not only has McDonald's gotten too expensive, the food itself has gone way downhill. Yep. Sad thing. Godfrey said, interesting conversation. Seems like a stimulus control course in schools would be advisable. Hell yes. Well, I don't understand why that was not a thing. I mean, there was home ec. But why not anything close to health? There was health, but it was just sex education. So the soul said, I don't say that to excuse unhealthy eating, but to point out it's even harder to eat healthy because of this. Yep. Now, again, that goes back to the point that, well, it is cheaper to just buy the shit, put it in your fridge and actually make it. But that requires planning, preparation, time, and getting off your ass and actually doing something. So he said, we are only 20 to 30 years in a less manual labor world, which means more people do not move around and thus lack calories and thus stack calories faster. Feels like we would not have adjusted to it spreading more ignorance. And ignorance spreads the arrogance. Yep. Chick-fil-A. Yep. Chick-fil-A is a good one. Craig said, I heard on social media a Big Mac meal was like $15. Let's just see. Okay. What is the price of a let's do medium. Medium. What do we got? The Big Mac combo meal. No McDonald's. I don't want you to know my location. Really? Well, this doesn't help me. Okay, well, give me a receipt, baby. What do we got? Yep. Confirmed. Oh, really? Where'd it go? This was not what I just, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, okay. But that's just the, that's just the sandwich. $7.99 as of, but they list the small, right? Doing some deep dive in here. I don't know. Well, this one here Mild. So this one from let's see. That's not what I wanted to do. Open. Yeah, there we go. Okay. From 5 months ago in Darien, Connecticut. Goodbye dollar menu, and we got the picture here. Really? One Big Mac, $17.59. 2A quarter pounder with cheese, $17.99. Again, I'm not seeing a dollar sign here. It does look like a regular picture, but you guys see this? This is what I do. Order a nice burger from yeah, exactly. I thought it was lying. Okay. New York Post. Here we go. Connecticut McDonald's branch slammed for charging $18 for a Big Mac. Come on, why do they do this? They know that we're going to be reading this stuff online. McDonald's in Connecticut. Jesus. McDonald's at a Connecticut rest stop is charging $18 for a Big Mac combo, and fast food chains aren't. Loving it. This is a rest stop, but McDonald's prices are nuts, right? McDonald's also charges. So another one charges $19 for a quarter pounder with cheese, $18 for 10-piece nuggets. What? Cheeseburger on the deli menu, usually more expensive. Big Mac would send the customer back. Hey, remember? Hey, remember all that talk about raising the minimum wage that would not get $20 burgers? Oops. Guess that happened. Jesus. Took home. Let me get rid of all this bullshit. And what's going to say? I took home ec and health was way more than sex ed 40 years ago. It was a whole body health education. I mean, I'm being a little bit facetious. It was whole body, but nutrition wasn't part of it. It was just like the arm bones connected to the that bullshit. Craig said that would be in certain states like New York or California. Yep. Yes, that was that's why I specifically wanted to see what the location was, not only in the US, or not only where in the US, but making sure it was the US, because if we're talking another country, then $17 could be cheap as shit. But yeah, all over the place. We said, not absolving fat fools. I am one, but there's a social cadence to behaviors. The herding pushes us in odd directions. Government could help with programs and awareness and not fear and ignorance like it's doing with guns. True. However, in the same way that it's not the government's responsibility to to educate you on everything, although we act like it is, it's not their job. So I consider myself very blessed to have enough space to have a decent garden and a greenhouse to grow some of our own food. I also go to markets and farms and buy in bulk and preserve it myself. That, I mean, if I had space, I mean, I would take up like living room space for a freezer if I could afford it. Because if I could do that and I could just, have food in the house all the time, like food, not like a meal, but like food to cook. What am I going to cook today? Life-changing. It would be life-changing. Yeah, right. Why would you even bother at that point? Now, this was a rest station, so they kind of got you by the balls. It's like this or you starve. But the point remains. The point stands that we have found $20 McDonald's. They specifically said that would not happen, and now a McDonald's Big Mac meal is $20. And self-checkout. Exactly. So it says if you want a burger and fries, go to Ruby Tuesday on a Tuesday. You can get one to go at $6.99. Well, we're not going to do any more advertisements unless I'm getting paid. But good tip. Nothing wrong with being yourself. But how the heck do you find enjoyment from paying for a $20 Big Mac? It's a good question. It's almost like the government has a blind eye on this issue. Oh, thank goodness. Virgil's back, guys. I didn't know how the show would continue. Thank you, brother. Glad to see that you are back. Ooh, yeah, I'm still waiting to be sent some vegetables or something. Zippy said, this is the information age. There's too much information making people dumber. It's more important now more than ever that the government helps balance people's information and awareness. Nope. You, Zippy, you're telling me that you want the government to be in charge of what is correct and incorrect? You can get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Hell no.
Oh, hell no. Think that it's normal for a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then
yeah. I want to go back to this because
she's not.
People go out and get fat versus a Lizzo who's saying, accept me the way I am.
She's not just saying, accept me the way I am. She's dressing extremely scantily.
All right, guys. All donations are now going to a freezer that is going to go in the corner. I'll put it right back there so y'all can see it. All donations going to a freezer that could be indeed life-changing, said Soil the Soul.
Clad, and then saying, if you don't think that it's normal for a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem. And they're trying to normalize society to this obese culture, which is extremely unhealthy. And
what is an obese culture?
Okay, good question. Words have meanings. When you say an obese culture, what does that mean? Now, doesn't mean it doesn't have a good answer. But those are the types of questions that we want to be asking. Those are the types of phrases that you want to listen for. Like, okay, I don't know what that means.
Obese culture, which is extremely unhealthy. And
what is an obese culture?
I would just say a culture that's normalized being obese, but let's see.
Culture which normalizes
I'm obese
obesity.
and I haven't even heard that.
Well, obesity is already normal, so
it's. Well, I don't think it should be normalized, and it wasn't normal.
But
just a
what's
couple
the
decades
difference
ago.
between?
Okay, but information and awareness is not education. I specifically said education. So they can put, but like, as you said, the information is out there. And nobody is forcing you to do anything. So I'm not even sure what we're disagreeing about.
Being a obese person, myself, walking around in a G-string or a bathing suit, as I do.
That's the right question. Now, you can have a good answer. Again, we're not saying that just because you have a good question doesn't mean there's not a good answer. But let's just run this whole thing back because I think this is a very important exchange here.
Obese culture.
For a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem. And they're trying to normalize society to this obese culture, which is extremely unhealthy. And
what is an obese culture?
A culture which normalizes
I'm obese
obesity.
and I haven't even heard that.
Well, obesity is already normal, so
it's.
Well, okay, then we have an obese culture. Like, asked and answered. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't need to know what you're doing in the bathroom, Virgil. All right. What you do in there is between you and God. Rhett said, yes. Wear a clothing type that reveals a lot of your body and be morbidly obese. Just on top of it. We have really hit rock bottom. Yep. Excuse me. Soil saying to Craig, I'm not afraid to say some things that shouldn't come in some sizes. Yep. Welcome, Joe. Were you already here? See, again, I'm getting lost with it. So if you're coming in and I don't, give you the whole thing, I apologize. But welcome to the party. So I'm 6'2" and 145, so I'm a bit underweight. And the guy there is, what did he say? I think he said 6'4" or 6'3" and like 120. Damn. Greg said, growing your own food and living off the land is something I definitely back. I said, shit. Me too. Anybody who has the space, the time to do it, go and do it because they want you eating the bugs. So because the Illuminati pushing fat worship to cull humans. You are the carbon they want to reduce. Yep.
Well, I don't think it should be normalized, and it wasn't normal.
But
just a couple
what's the
decades
difference
ago.
between a obese person, myself, walking around in a G-string or a bathing suit, as I do almost every day, and a skinny person? Like, is it okay that the skinny person is doing that?
I don't think so, but
I don't think
that is, I almost wish he didn't say that. Because I want to know how Lauren would have answered that. Because that is the correct answer if you're going to hold that position. It's like, yeah, I don't think that, you should be, exactly. I don't think that should be out in public. And so if you're exposing the fatness, it's not just existing. You're now showing, we have indecency, well, all that kind of stuff. So, that guy might have just saved Lauren. That guy might have just saved Lauren. Right? So the Indian Jesus, be nice and respectful. Also the Indian Jesus, get the fuck out of my face. No, you guys got to be nice and respectful. You guys got to be nice and respectful. Y'all are here for the show. I could be nice and respectful, but it ain't going to be fun. Y'all keep the chat. What does the banner say? I think I got rid of it. No, please keep the chat respectful. I am not in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you love those Lizzo G-strings, Virgil, huh? All right, okay.
Walking around in a G-string or a bathing suit, as I do almost every day, and a skinny person. Like, is it okay that the skinny person is doing that?
I don't think so, but
I don't think
that's for other reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the question, hold on, come back to this. Now the question is, because clearly that was an acceptable answer among the group. So now she's definitely going to say, well, yes, I don't think that the skinny person should be doing it either. The question is, was she going to say that already? And I think we'll be able to tell. If she was already going to say this, she should have this argument in her head. If she's just like, oh, fuck, and globbing on to like, oh, dude, you saved me, then I think we'll be able to see that as well.
Get the whole in public thing.
To say that when Lizzo does it is the same as a Victoria's Secret angel is just not the same.
Yeah, what's the difference?
What do you mean? Are you telling me they look? You're telling me it doesn't?
I'm not saying they look the same.
Well,
but
I
I'm
mean,
saying
Lizzo goes on.
She's like, wait, you honestly think they look the same? She's asking, what is the difference conceptually? And I would personally say that if we are showing off body parts, then what we should be showing off is bodies who have taken care of themselves well. Now, if you have taken care of yourself well, and you happen not to be what we would find traditionally attractive, that doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. We just live in a world where people have eyes, and beauty matters. And so if you're beautiful, then goddamn right, go out and you have a more of a right to show the beauty, because it other than just your face, it takes work. Again, it's the whole point. There is something to be proud of. Most of the time, if you look like that, most people who are as skinny as I am, or I guess proportionately for my height, most people work really hard to get that skinny. That's why it's different. Are we talking about? Yeah, right. It's just about being like, just be who you are. Funny how we can throw that back on
That's the implication. So if I walk down the street, I'm a runway model. I'm a print and runway model. I have walked down a runway in a thong. So me doing that is shameful, but a skinny model is okay.
I didn't
She didn't say, right. She didn't say shameful. I don't want to do this for her.
I don't know if I use the phrase shameful,
Problematic.
but I don't think that we as a society should be modeling obesity.
But I'm not modeling obesity. I'm modeling the lingerie that obese people need to be able to have availability to buy.
She's making a good point. I disagree with the stance. I'm on Lauren's team, but the argument, this is like when we were watching Trent Horn and Destiny. Like, bro, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. Crutch down a runaway. Get it right.
Yeah.
No.
So they've always had the ability to buy
we have not.
lingerie.
If you go to Torrid,
No,
a single
we have
underwear is
not.
like almost $20.
Yeah.
And you go to like any other Walmart, any Target, and like all these underwears are on special for like $5 to like $20 and stuff.
Well, that's capitalism. I thought we had an obese culture. I thought everybody was obese. So if everybody's obese, then why is your giant ass fucking underwear 17 cents when everything else is $17 million? Maybe because of supply and demand. Including the fact that you're literally using more supply.
Well, it does take more fabric to make it.
It does take more fabric to
They
make
use
it,
that
but
as
it's-
an excuse, but
that
you
would-
make yards of fabric
Yeah.
for gowns. You, like,
Is a
it's-
small
it's-
a different price than an extra large or a large?
It is.
And
yeah,
we're willing-
for 3XL shirts, I got to pay more money.
I think people view.
That's why hey, you coming out to play? Yeah, come here, Morty. Hey, come here, buddy. Shout out to Marty. And shout out to Indie Film. Here, Bubba, look what I got for you. No, you don't want them. Well, he doesn't want them, but we got them. We got them in the building. Let's see. Maybe who will want some snacks. What? Oh, Morty. You're messing everything up here. What word miss here? As far as the addictiveness, I didn't think it had to be debunked, but maybe I'm missing some research. The unhealthiness of it. What are we talking about? Oh, MSG. Yeah, I'm not sure. Am I losing my mind on stream? Oh, you should have been here for the last stream. God damn. Even said that's called supply and demand. There's not a high demand for circus tent size lingerie. Exactly. Speaking of Jabba the Hutt, Craig says, who's that social media star for being huge that was featured on the whatever podcast? Gorlock the Destroyer or something? I have no idea. Not a clue. All right, where were we?
Extra large or a large?
It is.
And we're willing-
for 3XL shirts, I got to pay more money.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's what I was going to say. Is that when I was a football fan, and I would buy jerseys. I would buy the youth sizes because they're smaller and they're cheaper.
People view models and Instagram people and all of us who are plus size and proud as we're pushing this obese lifestyle.
Yes.
No, I'm pushing the fact that this is what I live in. This is my life, and I need other people who feel this.
Oh, I do know who. Now that you said that, let's see. This one. All right, what do we got? And shout out to Craig breaking up the what am I saying? Breaking up the video so that I don't get claimed. Hey, shout out to Nikki. Welcome to the party. No problem. Always glad to see ya. Stop saying you're always victims. Always victims, right? All right, let's see what is it. Gorlock the Destroyer. Shout out to Craig. Let's see what we got.
$31.
Hell yeah.
What is everyone's take on the
We still need to-
acceptance movement?
That's disrespectful. You see this shit? That was disrespectful. I want you guys to keep shit like this in mind when you see donations and when you donate to this channel. So in case you're not familiar, some channels have a thing where at a certain, if you donate a certain amount, it'll do text to speech and it'll read it out. So this, I believe it's $200 because it's $200.31 here. But we get the thing coming. Person spent donated $200 to get this read out loud.
31 cents.
Hell yeah.
What is everyone's take on the
We still need to-
And he interrupts her. He interrupts the thing. If you're going to offer a service, provide the service. It's Gorlock. Like Gorloc. Gorlock the Destroyer. Anyway, sorry, that was just a pet peeve because, like, I know how much it means to me when you guys donate, and like to not even let it read out. Come on, bro. Anyway,
movement.
We
what does everyone take on the fat acceptance movement?
still need to do a fit check, by the way, for Plan Life.
I think the
Being-
fat acceptance
What's
movement
that?
is terrible.
Body positivity.
Same.
Here, go ahead. You were about to say something.
So like I'm all for people being healthy, all about themselves. Like I said, like if that like I don't know how to say this, but like basically like
Barely.
I get a lot of shit for what I wear. Like people are like,
Really?
what that's for your body, blah blah blah. For me, like I don't wear
Mojo.
this shit to like get it for attention. I do this because
Oh my God, this cash app. Oh no. Oh no.
This is what makes me feel beautiful. This is what I'm comfortable with my skin. Yeah.
Is that a dude? Or is that is that a trans person or is that a not trans person?
Maybe I'm not supposed to wear this, but guess what I do for me?
Because you're a baddie.
Exactly. That's
Hey, you can set up any joke you like for a lot cheaper than that.
certified.
Full time.
No, that's
You
exactly
never stop.
what it is. Like, I don't give a fuck if like my fucking back rows coming out. Yeah, maybe there's some things like, of course, we'll cover up like my nipples in private areas, whatever. But
what did she just say?
Coming out. Yeah, maybe there's some things like.
Hold on.
Of course, we'll cover up like my nipples in private areas, whatever.
Oh,
but,
okay. She just said she needs to cover up. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So this is exactly the AGP type bullshit, the autogynephilia. This is not a person who thinks that they look traditionally attractive. There's no that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. This is a person who likes to be a freak show. So how can I be a freak show in 2024? Be a big fat girl when I'm not actually a girl and pretend to be a girl when I'm not actually a girl, and everybody will point and laugh. Now it all makes sense. But, correlation is not causation, right?
let's be real. Let's be real.
Let's be real. Projection. Let's be real. Sweetie. Yep.
I'm a fucking
10 stone.
plus size. I'm a fucking plus size trans woman living in Arizona.
Wait, did you say you're trans? Wait, you're trans?
Yes, I'm trans.
I thought we did not know this.
I did not.
They didn't know. Oh my God. Hey, we got Bim in the building. Welcome to the party. We are going over Jubilee's Middle Ground. Is being skinny a choice? And we took a little side tour to check out Gorlock the Destroyer, the trans woman on the whatever podcast. But welcome to the party. So we said, why is Shamu cosplaying as human? I'm sorry, I'm the Michelin man, but good God. Don't make fun of a friendly, what? I don't know what that is. The fat is covering up the Adam's apple. Oh my God. Yeah, it makes complete sense. It's like, oh, you're just trying to be a weirdo. Like the options for this person was either do this or be like the guy who has lizard tattoos all over his body and has the nods in his head and split his tongue. Same shit. Same fucking shit.
I know that.
I'm a plus.
I thought you could always tell.
Honestly,
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Yeah, you guys cannot always tell. Get the fuck out of my face if you think you can always tell when a trans is a trans. And if I said I did feel sorry for that person, but now I found out that they've chosen to be like this. I don't. Like said, the other 4 women on the show together probably make up her weight. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, Colette said, sorry, but the big one definitely has eating disorder and mental problems. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying, is that this has nothing to do with a discomfort, like an otherwise healthy person who merely has a discomfort with their gender identity. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at a dude who wants to be weird. You guys know what I'm talking about with the lizard man dude, right? This guy. Oh wow, he's got a lot of work. So I actually want to open this. Boom. So we have this is a otherwise normal human being, but all of these are subdermal implants. So these aren't just circles; these are like actual bumps going along here, and you can see all the green. The tongue is split. The teeth are shaved down. This picture at least is from Okay. Well, oh shit. Did he die? No. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. So I don't know when the picture's from, but now or shortly after, same dude. You can see again the subdermal things are way more extreme. He's got way more of a split. The teeth again, you can see pointed. All this kind of stuff. This is just. And what does it say? What does it say on his chest? He's telling you. He's telling you. I am a freak. I want to be looked at and gawked at. Cool, bro. Whatever you want to do. This is the same thing, except dishonest. The same thing, except dishonest. Sad. Or said, be honest, Jesus. You love the big fancy trends. I mean, hey. No, thank you. Red said, oh my God, even if she loses more of her fat, her organs will be way too big for her body. It's really sad. Yep. Yeah. I mean, as much as you want to laugh at it, it's funny in the sense that it's like, what else do we do? It is now 9:46 p.m. Eastern time. Guam texted, I thought is that what happened? That seemed, I didn't want to read that and get into it, but shout out to Zippy the Strange for the gifted membership. Let's get you out of it. I don't think he's going to take it, but we can try. He's sniffing. No. All right. I won't force it. I don't know what's going on with you, bud. It stopped raining like 6 hours ago. But thank you. Where is it? Thank you so much. Very, very, very much appreciated. Hey, Rhett was gifted a membership. Rhett, make sure send me a DM on Discord. You now have the privileges of the full Discord server. Thank you, Zippy the Strange. Very, very much appreciated. All right. So yeah, look at the ungodly amount. Let's get her. The ungodly amount of visceral fat to lose around her organs. I wish I still had my haram button. Haram! Not normal. Yep. Craig said the crazy plain looty. Yep, I remember that one. That was. Whew. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see a date, but that definitely seemed like a this guy died type of page. It was from this year, but it didn't. I don't know. And I don't. Gonna be honest, don't really care. Virgil said, to be honest, I would. I can't even get arrested in this godforsaken town. The birds are really fussy. Bro, birds aren't real. Come on, man. You know this. He. Yep. That is a he. Oh, man. I wish this showed up. Like, there you go. Garbage. So that guy looks like a cultist from Warhammer. Didn't somebody say that already? That's funny if two different people said that. All right, where are we?
You're trans?
Yes, I'm trans.
I thought we did not know this.
I did not know that.
I'm a plus.
I thought you could always tell.
Honestly,
Apparently not.
I thought that you were trans.
Period.
So,
and honestly,
but you can still be a full-time baddie.
Yeah, no, of course. And like I said, like there's a lot of shit, especially like we already get a lot of shit within our own sisterhood of trans girls. A lot of the trans girls are like all about the whole Kylie, BBL, whatever. That's what I was gonna bring up too when you guys are talking about plastic surgery. What? Like I said, I probably do different perspectives than you guys because you guys are cis women. Period.
Into the mic.
Period. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of trans girls do the plastic surgery stuff just to necessarily fit in. And
that's the whole fucking point. What do you mean? That's the whole. Why else would you be getting surgery? Nikki said, sister is a trans? Nope. But I don't understand what the complaint is here. The idea is, in the being as generous as we can. Whoa, chill over at Bim's brother. Please be chill. It needs a reverse BBL. Yeah. But I don't understand. If we're being generous and we're being a good faith, the understanding is that these people genuinely believe that they are the opposite gender or a different gender. And so to go along with that, they chop up their body to fit in. No? I guess, okay. I guess what she's saying, not to fit in, like to feel accepted from other people, feel accepted for themselves. Which again is stupid bullshit. It's for other people. But, okay, I'm understanding. Okay. Now I get it. Hey, we got Pooter in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. So I sure hope gun just means his penis. Why do you wish that? Why do you hope that? Why do you hope that?
And that's something that, like, me as myself, like, yeah, eventually right now I'm working on my own pace, like, of getting healthy, maybe getting a little thinner. Feeling better about myself. But a lot of the girls, especially the dolls, like that's what trans girls refer to themselves as, the dolls, period. They kind of do the most outrageous things to fit into the category of let's have the BBL, let's have the fake titties, let's do the brow shave.
What are you? You're not saying things. You're just saying a collection of words that has no message behind it. You already said that girls want these things. What is the point of you saying that they want these things?
Let's do all kinds of things. And 9 times out of 10, I don't even feel like, you know, a lot
they want it. They just want to fit in.
A lot of girls do it for themselves, but sometimes a lot of girls, a very small percentage, like
they do
it
to
for
fit
validation of men. You know.
Word.
You know. Word. But like I said, a lot of the girls, especially like.
This is insane.
A lot of the dolls do this for like themselves, obviously because they want to do it for themselves. But there's still that very small percentage of girls who do it.
You just said that.
And like,
I didn't rewind it. She literally just said it twice in a row.
I just wish that small percentage of girls be like, nah, like you're a baddie already. If you want to go ahead and do something for yourself, BBL, titties, whatever, I'm all for it. But don't do it out of the validation for like a man. Do it for yourself.
No, right. He's saying the opposite. He's saying that, hey, don't do it to fit in. I'm doing it because I like it. Other people are doing it because they just want to fit in. Don't worry about that. You just do what makes you happy. Can she fit into anything? But I don't know. But anything could definitely fit into her. Yay!
I agree.
Because of a trend.
Exactly.
I
Or just to fit into what you think that's what a woman should look like.
You should
Women
be smashing the haram button at the suggestion of these BBLs and fake titties and stuff. Where's that haram button when you need it?
Wait, what? Am I misunderstanding?
Haram! Yes, we are both. See, I told you.
Hold on.
She's saying go get those BBLs.
Oh, you're saying go get them.
Yeah, like
if it makes you feel good. She's saying
if you're all for it, then do it. Trans or not trans, whatever.
Yeah, so she's saying if you want to fuck your shit up, go fuck your shit up. And I gotta say, I don't disagree. If you want to fuck your shit up because you think fucking your shit up is gonna make you happy, Godspeed. I think that is a better reason to do anything than to please other people. We got a haram. Red said, maybe trans fat girl convention. Yeah, the chance of that is a big fat fucking zero. Why? They already have an entire month of Pride.
She's saying if you're doing it for yourself,
Yeah,
not for
you're doing it for
others.
Yourself. Like, do it because it's like, I want to walk around with a fat ass every day.
Come on,
and
man.
I love the way that I look.
Who gets big cosmetic surgeries just for themselves, though?
A lot of people
I feel like everybody's doing.
No, they don't. The people who told you that are lying to you or lying to themselves. I just actually prefer the term dolls over girls because they don't fit the definition of a girl whatsoever. Damn, savage. Greg said, sadly, they do it to please other people, masquerading as self-love. Yep.
Doing it for like the
The
acceptance
only
of the
thing that
opposite
would be
sex.
for yourself is a
It's
breast
the mic.
reduction.
It's the mic.
Sorry, the only thing that would be for yourself is a breast reduction.
I
I
disagree though
So-
I
because
agree.
Hold on. Let me just add to that. There are. I mean,
It's like, fuck, I had the line. It's like spitting in God's face. Is that what it is? I'm trying to think of super bad. Like, I gotta take a better look at those warlocks. It's like, I think she got a breast reduction surgery. Is it? God damn it.
plastic surgery originated to fix things like World War I soldiers from World War I who got like their face deformed, and then like for example, women who have
better the wall than your balls or your face,
who have or had breast cancer and they had a breast removed, they might get implants to kind of balance it out, where there's like an actual deformity caused by a medical condition.
How long is this?
Yeah, but my point is people augmenting their bodies.
It's primarily for cosmetic.
Yeah, for cosmetic purposes. Oftentimes, it's to appear more attractive to the opposite sex.
100%.
But then there's like
I gotta be honest with you, Rhett. I don't know where this would fit in. This is we are so far down the rabbit hole. I don't think we're going to be seeing this ever again. There's more chance of getting hit by lightning while being attacked by a great white shark than getting a leg over in this godforsaken town. Rachel just can't catch a break, man. Manchester, England.
Those people who it's the better to the opposite sex, but then we all know there's a lot of people with plastic surgery who look fucking terrible.
Yeah. So just because they look terrible doesn't mean that the reason that they did it, they would think that they would look good for other people. Indeed, we do. Where is Zippy? I'm surprised that you or anybody else was able to say it before Zippy was.
Absolutely disgusting, and
There's
they're
a whole
doing
show
it
around it.
Yeah, and they're most of those people, they're really doing it for themselves. They don't care about what other people think, because 90% of the people around them are telling them they look terrible, and they still continue to get more and more surgeries. It's usually
so they continue. So everybody's telling them that they look terrible, and then they get more surgeries, and then people tell them they look terrible, and then they get more surgeries. Methinks I sees a pattern.
a mental illness. They're
Gorlock's waiting for you, bro.
Deluded. They have body dysmorphia, things like that. But they are really doing it for themselves. They might have started out.
I'm done with this.
Like,
Point made. She's fat or he's fat. And okay, let's see where we were here.
As we're pushing this obese lifestyle. No, I'm pushing the fact that this is.
There he is. Where were ya? Where were ya?
This is what I live in. This is my life. And I need other people who feel this way to say, hey, I want to be able to wear clothes that look cute too.
All right. And then, so remember, this was the America has an obesity problem, and everybody stepped forward except for this chick.
I think there's a problem with obesity in America.
Then why didn't you step forward? That your whole job here is to listen to the prompt and step forward if you agree. You didn't step forward, and now the first thing you say is that I do think there's a problem with obesity in America.
What?
Gottfried said the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome, but hey, do you? Yep. So he's come back from his 30-minute hibernation. Good one.
But I think it's a first world country problem because it's spread across the globe. And also, I don't see it as a problem.
Okay, fine. If you're that stupid, fine. People are dumb. People are dumb. But Jubilee, why would you even keep that in? Why would you keep that in?
What?
What just happened? She did not step forward to agree with the prompt that America has an obesity problem. And the first thing she says is, I do think that America has a problem with obesity. And then she said some other shit. And also, I don't see it as a problem.
What?
That's not how words work. I gotta see it again.
I do think country is a problem with obesity in America.
Okay, so there is a problem with obesity in America, but she disagrees that there is that America has an obesity problem. So maybe it's a semantic difference. Maybe there's a problem with obesity, but we don't have an obesity problem.
But I think it's a first world country problem because...
Okay, so it is, America is a first world country and has an obesity problem. Okay?
It's spread across the globe.
We're not talking about that.
Also, I don't see it as a problem.
One of them better fucking say some shit. Especially because she didn't agree, but she didn't step forward, but she agrees. Oh my God. I see a lot of confusion. I see confusion here. I see confusion here. I see apathy here, and I can't really see here, but I see a lot of confusion. I'm just trying to give people the chance. I'm just saying, if there was a way that made sense, then it would have to be a semantic argument. I don't think there's a semantic difference between having an obesity problem and there being a problem with obesity, but somebody else could make that argument. Maybe we have to say it's problematic, but it's not a problem until it reaches a certain point. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, genuinely confused. Greg's not really surprised. Not really surprised. They contradict repeatedly. Yeah, but not like that. Not like that. That was like boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, boom. Yeah, damn.
The globe. And also, I don't see it as a problem. I do feel like health-wise, people should try to be healthier.
Oh, health-wise? Well, as opposed to...
But there's no perfect body. There's no perfect person. There's no perfect size. And there's people who are underweight. There's a lot of them. And then there's a lot of people who are overweight. So I really don't see it as like a problem. But just to touch on what you were saying, because I am in the fashion industry, I wanted to become a fashion designer. My dad was one. And they buy 10 rolls of fabric for one price. So it really doesn't cost that much to make underwear.
For how many people? I happen to be rewatching Orange is the New Black. And guess what happened? Spoilers for season 4. If you haven't watched it by now, I mean, it was like the first Netflix show. But they, a corporate thing takes over the prison, and the, Orange is the New Black, the women's prison show. They get taken over by a corporate thing, and now there's a new job to be done. Usually it's just, cleaning up around the jail or working in the kitchen, doing the laundry, stuff like that. But now they have a big job where they would usually get 10 cents an hour, but now you get $1 an hour in prison. The job was sewing panties for Whispers, a lingerie magazine thing. And guess what was an entire season-long arc of this show? The prisoners figured out that with this much fabric, if you move the pieces close together, you can make more underwear and sell it for money. So actually, it does cost that much money.
Sure, but don't you also have to worry about distribution? I mean, if the average person is, let's say, in between small, medium, large, and you're sending clothes out for those, you could send out 10,000 of this, 10,000 of that, 10,000 of that. You can't always send out 10,000 3XLs because you're not going to have that many people fitting in the 3XL.
No, because there's somebody who works in marketing and they research that area. There's a census. Okay. So we have a database.
Of what? Census of what? You're almost there, sweetie.
Of what type of people are there. Now, we don't know who's going in there, but we know the type of people that live in that area and the type of the people.
Well, we do know who the people are going in there because they're buying the clothes.
People that come and visit the area. So that person is doing their job accordingly, and usually large sizes are sold out.
Okay, so somebody brought up the...
No fucking way. Are you being serious? Because, I mean, since they're going to fucking copyright claim our shit anyway, we may as well break it up. 3 days ago, last hour.
Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today is Wednesday, December 27th, 2023, and today we're going to be taking a look at a 2024 presidential election prediction between Governor Gretchen Whitmer from the state of Michigan and former President Donald Trump.
I don't know, bro. Okay, 48 minutes ago.
All right, y'all. We are back with another video. Shout out to Doug in Exile, man. Love checking out his videos. Like I said before, y'all know I say this all the time. He keeps us updated, and especially me as well. So shout out to Doug. I will leave the original video in the description. Make sure y'all go show Doug some love. The man is putting in work over there. So shout out to him once again. And I want to check this one out. He said that the running mate for Donald Trump goes insane and that Nikki Haley gets brutal takedown from Don Jr. We got to check this one out right here. But make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments.
So this is just the news thing of Nikki Haley.
in the comment section. I just want to thank everybody who clicked on this video for the very first time. I appreciate you as well. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video, because that right there is very, very important. YouTube will share the video more, especially if you watch it to the end. And that right there is what helps the channel grow. I really appreciate everybody that does that. And make sure y'all hit that like button. That's very important as well.
Come on. For free. There we go. Really? That's why you have dummy accounts all over the place. I mean, that's just an old. Yeah, you thought you were gonna get my name like that? Come on, kids. Come on, kids. Okay. No. All right. What do we got? Town Hall 2008. Clickety clack. Oh yeah, this thing. What do you think of Nikki? No, that's what we're talking about. If that's what we're talking about, then this is nothing. This is a literal nothing. That there's some recording somewhere of Trump asking. Let's see what it actually says. The clickety-clacking of Haley's high heels still seem to be ringing louder in Trump's ears by the day. Just think about how scared Trump must be to risk giving Haley campaign even more oxygen and more positive headlines by letting it be known he is considering her as a running mate. I remember this because Tim was saying, okay, where's the quote? And so he's asking people outside of his campaign, what do you think of Nikki? Then you see no more quote. That's despite Trump maintaining this and that. What did he ask? What did he say? This makes Trump inquiries about, it's intriguing. It's intriguing that he would ask. All he did was ask. All he did was ask. So actually no. We going with the thumbs down for the clickbait. Come on, man. At least like I try to clickbait you guys in a way where it's interesting, but like we're actually talking about the thing. Don't be like, hey, he picked it based on somebody said somewhere, what about Nikki? What do you think about Nikki Haley? Like, what if he was just curious about Nikki Haley? In the sense, how far down is she? Come on. All right. Let's get back to what we were saying here. Guamtech, we're talking about underwear and the amount of fabric, and that obviously, if you run a underwear company, it adds the fuck up. So yes, bigger sizes need more fabric than smaller sizes. Well, like I said, the rolls of fabric at the same cost, but they use more fabric for plus size clothing. Exactly. I mean, come on. Yeah. Yeah, nothing. We're good. We are all clear. Is that the guy? Apparently not a great channel if he's clickbaiting you motherfuckers. No, you're good. You're good. We had to know. We had to know. And I appreciate it, especially since Jubilee loves to copyright claim. There you go. Indian J. Easus. That is it. I don't think it's going to be Haley. Real A-Dog video display. Come on. That's why. That's why. He's got, and there's like 300,000 views on it because he clickbaited everybody. All of us. I was going to comment, but that only helps engagement. I don't think it's going to be Haley. All right. Well, let's dive back in.
Accordingly, and usually large sizes are sold out.
Because nobody needs them. Most people are not this fat. So despite what she's lying to your face, the reason they're not there is because they don't have the small size. Guess where all of my nice shirts, guess where all of them are from, and guess why? They're from Express because that's the only place that I know of that carries extra small.
Okay, so somebody brought up the food desert earlier. I can't even think of an area that would have a so-called food desert.
Sorry, can someone explain, like maybe just for my ignorance, I'm guessing a food desert is just there's no food anywhere?
No, it's healthy options for food. So you can go.
So we're just saying desert to make you think of, I'm dying. But really, it's just that, you don't have a Whole Foods. That's really what it means. Semantic. Obfuscation. Let's drink it up for some semantic obfuscation. Food deserts. You mean there's no food anywhere? Well, that's what I would assume if I heard that. But no, they use these words to twist your understanding of what is happening in real time.
Go into certain low income areas and you'll see a Starbucks, a McDonald's.
Starbucks is not low end.
A Chick-fil-A, but there's no Trader Joe's.
Food.
She literally did it. She literally did it. Oh my God. Are you under the impression that you can't get healthy food at Walmart? Are you under the impression that you can't get healthy food at ShopRite? Are you under the impression that Aldi doesn't exist and is it a subsidiary of Trader Joe's? So technically, there is a Trader Joe's, you dumb bitch. You're wrong. A food desert in America does not exist. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that does not exist. Red says, if you comment, 2% of these people would go, nah, no wait. Put a 1 in the chat if you go and watch YouTubers because you saw their comment in a comment section. Hey, we got Miltos in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. It said some people are naturally supposed to be skinny because genetics. I don't know, bro. I don't think people like that actually exist. I think that's just a liberal lie that people are telling you. I don't know. Welcome to the party, brother. I'm sick of the plus sizes are sold out because they don't make as many because there are less people that need them. Good Lord, my brain. And then the fat people would come back. But I thought you said we live in an obese culture. In the same way we live in a pro-trans culture, you want more of it. You want more of the bad thing. Right now, there's not a lot of the bad thing, which is why we're saying, hey, we don't want this bad thing. And you're saying, well, there's not even that much of the bad thing that I want more of. What is the issue? Fucking pardon? And let's say we call a high crime area, so stores won't operate on because they lose money. A food desert. A food desert. Zippy said, live there. More dumb fast food and Starbucks. Not all Walmart has food. It means there's no grocery store, just convenience stores. Okay. So let me not say that no food deserts exist. And it's true. Not all Walmarts have a grocery section. There's no grocery store and there's no fresh food in the convenience stores. Because I mean, what is the practical difference between the lowest piece of meat that you could get at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods and the most pricey piece of steak or chicken or whatever, same thing that at the convenience stores? I know for a fact that these places have food. It absolutely is harder in some places than others. But Zippy, I think you would agree that the reason that you're not at the weight that your ideal weight, let's put it that way. The reason you're not at your ideal weight is not because of food deserts, right? So that's a genuine question then. So do you think that your weight is due to the fact that you don't have to or you have to pay to get to the food before you pay for it? Because that's a real thing. I'm not saying it's not, but we also don't hear Zippy complaining about bullshit like this. He lives his life. So the Soul said, I agree. I live in a rural place in Mississippi, the poorest state in the union. No food desert here. Healthy food can be found at Walmart and Piggly Wiggly, the only two grocery stores around. I think it is a transportation problem, not a food desert problem. Some folks can't get to the grocery stores is they can't use public transportation to get there from deep in the big cities. Maybe I think you got it. Not all deserts are landscapes too. Fair, but I think I think when we put the what Zippy said and what Zippy said and what Soil said, if we put that together, I think that makes perfect sense. He specifically says, I had to take a cab. That does suck. That can't be cheap. And if you're already not in a good area, you already don't have money. And you already know that you're about to go blow probably the biggest amount of money for anything outside of rent for the entire month. That definitely has to suck. And so I'm not saying that I don't understand why people might eat McDonald's and stuff like that more often. That's not the point. Uno reverse. I mean, maybe I don't know what time frame we're talking about with Zippy specifically, but we got Amazon Prime now. They do groceries. Well, it's not only that, but you can also exactly. There we go. Other than price, there really isn't an argument for food deserts anymore. I will say that if we are agreeing that it's mostly a transportation problem, then I would venture to think that it might be a little bit more difficult to get like Amazon services. Now, I don't know how Amazon specifically works, but in terms of delivery and stuff. But I know like with Uber or DoorDash or stuff like that, there has to be somebody around willing to pick up the food. I know Amazon is different than that. So yeah, those of you who live in more rural areas, is it just like Amazon is just Amazon, right? Like 2-day shipping no matter what. Like that's how it works, right?
A food, a McDonald's, a Chick-fil-A, but there's no Trader Joe's.
A food desert, actually properly, there isn't any, like for a long period of driving, there's one gas station and a liquor store. Then you have to drive 2 more miles to hit the next grocery store.
What does the gas station have to do with that? If it's only 2 miles from the gas station, then what do you need the gas station for? Guam thinks that I'm in a pretty rural place, and Amazon has no problem getting to me. Yeah, right. Maybe I'm stupid. I know that she's definitely stupid, but
And a liquor store.
Okay, wait.
Long period of driving, there's one gas station and a liquor store.
I don't understand what the relevance of the liquor store is. What does that have to do with anything that we're talking about?
Then you have to drive 2 more miles to hit the next grocery store.
But with the food desert, it's not just that there can be a.
They're just going to cut away from that. They're just going to be like, yeah, no. What is the thought she is having, sir? I wish I knew. So he said, food deserts are not helpful, but it's cumulative. Food desert, transportation, gas. People are lazy, getting crap done in the quickest way. Yet it's on the it's on the individual, but they're screwing us all over. True, absolutely true. But as you said, it's still like, as you're dealing with those types of things, everybody else is dealing with some other types of things. And there's some people who are dealing with more and worse things than other people's, but that's life. 169 said it's a transportation issue. I'd imagine shopping for a week would be more difficult. Yeah, right. That definitely seems to be, circling our square, because now you have to buy for, if you have to go farther away, you want to get, everything you got to get in one go. So you go for the entire month, and now you got to spend a dick ton of money at one time. And you may, like, over the course of the month, you may make that much money. But if you have to spend $300 at once and you don't have that, then you're fucked. It's wait 2 miles for the grocery store. I mean, I'm further away than 2 miles to my grocery. Oh, is that what she's saying? No, she's not saying that. That's what she's saying? The fact that there's a grocery store, and that's the closest thing. But 2 miles away from the grocery store, or excuse me, the gas station. The gas station is the closest thing. 2 miles away from that is a grocery store, but the gas station's right there. It's 2 miles. What are we talking about? Here in Germany, gas stations started selling groceries as well. Yep, here as well. We got Wawa, we got BP, we got Quick Check. And those are just the ones around here. She would have you, or you would have her. I'm just gonna say she's trying to say in a radius, you have to travel farther to get to a grocery store. She's not doing it well. No. So the closest grocery store to me is 5 miles. And then again, everyone around here in this rural area has a vehicle. It's just a necessity. Yeah. And if you're in an area where you don't, if you don't have a car and things are far away, it's going to get expensive. Context that I am sympathetic to the idea of having quality stores or markets in more areas, but I still believe it's easier now than ever to get food. And that's the point, is that there was a time when it was a lot harder to get food. People were poor and they weren't fat. They weren't as fat because they were poor. Libby said, I currently live in a rural area. Walmart has delivery now. No Amazon here. What? At all? That's crazy. And that's exactly where I was going to go, is that if you're saving money driving 2 miles less to get gas station food instead of going to the grocery store, that math ain't mathing. That math ain't mathing. Colette said, being on SS, I shop Social Security. I shop for a month at a time. Yeah, I tend to do that just because I'm lazy and don't like to go out of the house. So like when I'm likely not going to ever do shopping. Not ever, but I try not to ever do shopping on a day that I don't have a client. So like if I'm already outside the house, then the shopping needs to get done, we're good. But if I don't have a client for 2 days, then we might, scrape the bottom of the barrel until we can get there. Oh, I thought you were asking about how the show is about being too skinny. Well, if you can eat, depending on how you get, it's all about food. So if you can get good food more easily, then you're more likely to not be fat. If you can't get good food easily, then you're more likely to, to get the opposite of what I just said. Indeed, we're actually, shout out to whoever is on, Virgil, where'd you go? Shout out to whoever's on X and whoever is on Twitch. We are at 22. I think, aside from like the very beginning, that's the largest crowd we've had in the midst of a show. So let's keep it rolling.
Grocery store there.
The next grocery store.
But with the food desert, it's not just that there can be a grocery store there, but if I'm making minimum wage.
I haven't bought milk in years. Especially since I stopped drinking coffee, there is no need for milk in my life.
I'm not going to spend all of my money on what is going to last me 2 meals versus what's going to last me an entire week.
Yes.
Or if I'm on EBT and I have specific things that I have to choose to buy versus what I can't buy.
Yeah.
So I'm born and raised in Colorado. In the outskirts, there's so many small towns that you don't even know that they're there. Most of them you won't see on a map, but if you're from there, then you'll know, and they all have to drive a decent amount to be able to go to an actual grocery store. But
So how far is the shipping site from you?
how often are you going grocery shopping? Maybe like once every 2 weeks would be typically
I think it
normal. So you have to do a drive
My family, I gotta go once a
week.
week.
So you're making a drive once a week, once every 2 weeks.
This is
Not
also
something
Costco.
with access to the
Yeah, like what
time
if I don't have a
to-
car?
I was like, I don't
even-
and if you don't
Excuses. Yes, there are reasons for things. But you have to overcome those things. You don't just get to be like, well, life is hard. No, life is hard, and you move the fuck on.
don't have, usually these food deserts also have very poor public transportation options.
Yep,
So
like in the
you are
mountains.
left with people who are stranded.
Yeah, but then what are they eating at all?
Yeah,
Unhealthy crap.
Like,
no, but how
what-
are they
what-
surviving
what,
at
they're going through the
all?
drive-through, they don't.
Exactly. If they have nothing to eat, then they're going to die. They're eating something. So she just said she wasn't going to pay more for quality food because she can get crap food that will last longer. those are choices that can be made. Hey, shout out to Project VO Pod. Welcome to the party. Said, hey bro, been watching this the content. Great live streams as far as production. If you'd be down for a collab, I'd love to set that up for a debate on Red Pill. You can send me your email address. I would be happy to do that. Do we got any mods here? Doing all this shit myself. The Indian Jesus official at gmail.com. Always up for a debate. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Yeah. I saw how much it was affecting my ability to eat healthy and sleep and all that stuff. There was also when I was this is also like when I was still doing drugs, but I was like, I gotta, get away from this. And it was giving me a reason to take more Xanax because I was like, oh, well, I'm, cracked out from this caffeine. I guess I'll just pop some Xanax. That's not, abusing drugs. I really need it, which of course is abusing drugs. So yeah, I was just like, I can't do this. I can't do it. Colette said, I live in a small town. I have Walmart and Publix, and that's all I need. Several miles away, but I do it all in one day to save gas. Me too. Yeah, so I guess it really does come down to the transportation. That's what they're talking about too. And even though they're making the excuses and they're saying this is the reason why X can't happen, X being eat healthy. It's not true. It can happen. That doesn't mean that they're not barriers, and that's okay. We can say that this specific task in my life is harder for me than it is for you because of this particular thing. Okay, well, I have this thing in my life that's particular. You know what I mean? It works both ways. It works both ways. I'm in for it. I thought it was good. You got me. I thought it was going to go the other way. So Malcolm's great from really bored and just want to vomit for something to do. Yeah, we can make Rhett a mod. Why not? Boom. Rhett, you are a mod. So whenever you see this, or not that one, when you see this banner, do me a favor and grab the link from the Discord and just be like, join the Indian Jesus Discord and drop that link. That is what I need from you. Thank you. All right. Hey, Godfrey with the €5. I'm gonna put this aside for Morty, he's shivering just hearing. No, I'm not gonna force it in your face. But thank you very, very, very much. Said, by the way, would you be interested in a big collab stream between you, Dr. Evil Genius? You're goddamn right. Any day. Hell yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, definitely. If they will have me, I would definitely appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And where are we? Does that make? I think that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you.
I got a car to go to.
Yeah, exactly.
They usually, what I've seen when I go to those rural towns and those rural places is they have chickens and they have animals. Right. And guess what? You can get some healthy food out of that. That's having eggs and protein and things like that. I think I would be healthier if I lived rurally. In fact, my wife and I are trying to leave the state so we're not near all the Uber Eats and all the
I grew up in a town of 500. The obesity problem there was not as significant as, say, in LA. And we talk about like food deserts and stuff. The nearest Walmart where I grew up was 45 minutes in any direction. The nearest McDonald's was nowhere near to be seen for a long time. So when I hear these, like,
thank you again to the sponsors of the stream. Very, 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 very much appreciated.
And there could be some evidence there as like the obesity problem is very low lift.
Where are the grocery
Virgil, you're on my Facebook page right now. Just add me.
stores in your small town?
Yes.
Exactly.
No problem, brother. Very much appreciate the invitation and look forward to hearing from you, brother.
I'm like kind of baffled by the
Thank you.
Maybe I just need to go out there and like experience the food deserts, but like there was grocery stores where I grew up. Just because we lived in the middle of nowhere doesn't mean we didn't have access to food. And actually, and I have to agree, we did have access to healthy food.
Mm-hmm.
Very healthy food. All the
Shout out to Zippy. Thank you so much. You have a good one, brother. Feel better. Feel better.
I don't think this is big of an issue in my personal opinion.
Nope.
Fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming.
Ooh, I like this one. I like this one. We're gonna do a poll. So which is worse? Fat shaming, skinny shaming. So those of you who cannot see it, that is the prompt. Which is worse? Or yeah, which is worse? Fat shaming or skinny shaming? That is the prompt, and I want to hear it from you guys. I'm interested to even see what the community tab has to say. I think the community is going to say that fat shaming is worse. I think, yes, 60 to 70% are going to say that fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming. That's my guess. Craig says it's not worse. It's the same. I'll have to sit on that. I'll come back to that. Let's see. In the mean, not doing anything that I'm not supposed to be doing. And thank you, sir. Captain Gooby says, well, skinny shaming isn't a problem for women in general. Wrong, sir. Again, as I said, when I was growing up, the thing to do when you were in middle school and high school to fit in was to be an anorexic, bulimic girl. That's just what it was. Any films? And I think that according to the media, fat shaming is worse. In fact, you probably should be jailed for fat shaming. Let's see. So we got a fatty and a skinny.
So
everybody else says no. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder, again, I want to, like, the reasons. What could their reasons be? And how do they, on opposite sides, come to the same conclusion? Very interesting. Very interesting. Because if fat shaming is worse only because skinny people tend to look better. Fair. Greg said I've been shamed a ton for being too skinny in my past. Take a look at any video on my channel, and there will be somebody in the comments saying, bro, eat something, bro, do this, bro, do this. I just, I have fun with it and tell people I have a thyroid condition, but that might actually be true. So I don't know. At least the trauma just as fat shaming. Yeah. So Captain Gooby say you're saying being skinny was both in and made fun of. What? I don't understand what this means.
So I do agree that fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming. Just overall, entirely the way that people.
Somebody come get your girl. Somebody come get your girl. The last prompt, she agreed, but she didn't step forward. This prompt, she doesn't agree, but she steps forward. Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Is worse than skinny shaming. Just overall.
Oh, she did. Okay, I had that one backwards. See? Jumping the gun.
Entirely the way that people like comment on people's weight. Compared to somebody skinny, they usually don't comment on somebody skinny. Yeah. They don't think there's something wrong with them. They don't, like, they'll maybe say like, oh, you're very thin. Do you want to eat a cheeseburger? But that's not as bad as telling somebody you eat 10, stop. And you don't even know that they're eating 10.
Fat shaming is a systemic problem. You're not gonna not get a job because you're too skinny. Skinny bodies are praised in our society.
And why is that? Why is that?
Whereas fat bodies, like, I don't get it as often as other people, but I get
because of the heavy.
A lot of comments on my Instagram that are saying like, you're really beautiful, but you would look a lot better if you lost 50, 60 pounds.
Yup. I mean, more like 150, but sure. Ooh, we have a hot take from our new mod, Rhett in Action. It says skinny shaming is much worse because a lot less people will be on your side. Hey, I like that. I like that reasoning. I like that.
Something that I always get a lot of comments on is my masculinity as a man because of how skinny I am. It's always something that I've always kind of dealt with. My favorite comment is always, I look like a sickly, ill Victorian child. And
that's horrible.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that.
No. I don't, it doesn't bother me as much, but this idea that skinny people can't also get these kind of comments are just kind of mind-blowing. That doesn't mean that they're, that one side is getting it worse than the other. I think that there are both sides getting piled on just at different varying degrees.
I think we're conflating two things as well. So there's a difference between fat shaming and fat discrimination. Fat shaming is an aspect of fat discrimination, but some of the things you were touching on are specifically societal and systemic fat discrimination that goes into our medical system. It goes into employment. It goes into all of our civil rights as fat people, that skinny people don't necessarily have that same issue. And I come from cultures where they straight out called out skinny people. Oh, you look like bones. Oh, flaca. All of that. So I watched my cousins go through it. I went through it when I would get too skinny. As people, we are just too scrutinized when it comes to our bodies. We don't let people live.
But I think that's a good point.
guys, oh my God. I just went to, just for the sake of, to show it, I just went to try to look and go into my comments to see if I could find like how to search for, particular words. It's not like it's searching here, but I don't know how to do that, but whatever. And so, okay, here we got, Zippy was, on replay, held for review. Didn't think, well, why are these held for review? What? Oh no, okay. And so whatever, I'm clicking around trying to find this. Oh, I'm not even showing you. Good thing. Okay, take two. So I got my comments, and really, it's gonna do that? Jesus fucking Christ. And yeah, so like I said, I was looking for those that were like, bro, just eat something. And I didn't know how to search for them. So when you do this, it just searches for the videos. So I'm like, all right, what if I do this? 1 week ago, this motherfucker's still talking about me. 1 week ago, bro, I forgot you existed for 6 months. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Holy shit. Oh my God. Whew. Sorry, that was just hilarious. All right. Where were we? You get that one? Yeah, well, that's the beauty of these prompts, is that it's up to interpretation, and depending on how you interpret it, then I saw that was I did not see that there was this much here. Yeah, it's a good one, right? Chris, and there were several popular social media stars in the last year or two that died for being too skinny and not taking care. Yep, Eugenia Cooney is alive and kicking for now. But pushed by society to stay skinny because it was healthy. The opposite, luckily, is the case with Eugenia, that her entire community is like, yo, go get help. Stop making videos. But of course, it's like a car crash. You can't look away, Yeah, Eugenia Cooney is not one who has died, but is definitely one who probably will very, very soon. Victorian child, dude said he was 6'6". It's more like an air. You do know, like, I know I'm the short one, but you do know that people start small and then they get big, right? Or at least they're supposed to. But people who are 6 feet tall weren't always 6 feet tall. Don't know if you know that. So I said evolution and instincts have nothing to do with it. Huh. I guess that's not the right science. That's not the right science. Exactly. All right, where are we?
Too scrutinized when it comes to our bodies. We don't let people live.
But I think that's a good point. You said you were called skin and bones when you got
my cousin.
But your cousin. So people using shame as a motivator to get your cousin to not be too skinny. Bingo. Shame as a motivator is a powerful tool. Bingo. So the reason I sit over there is fat shaming worse than skinny shaming. Well, you could argue that shaming somebody in order to motivate them towards a healthy lifestyle is actually a good thing. Now, I have a lot of empathy because hearing your story about how you've been struggling with this since you were a child.
Since I was like a newborn baby, like health, just everything's just been on.
Okay, if that's the case, Mariah, then you are an exception to what we are talking about. That's if it's your health, what am I trying? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, obviously, we're talking about two different types of health. The body operating as it should within itself and how you feed it. But if we're talking about a body that works as it should, then it isn't your health. And if we're not talking about that, and it is your health in that way, then you shouldn't be part of this conversation. Because you're an outlier. And no, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Mrs. Nine said Karen Carpenter was anorexic. She did get help, but it damaged her heart so bad she had a heart attack. Godfrey said he's nearly your biggest fan by now. Be living in his head rent free all this time. It's not even. I don't even want that. Like, I thought it was, a dude who liked getting attention for being stupid or whatever. But last week, bro, holy shit. Colette said, being a boomer, I like being plump. It's a good padding in case I fall. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. There you go. There you go. So the soul said, right. If the shoe doesn't fit, it doesn't fit her, why take offense to it? Exactly. Right in action. Shaming someone. Bad. Motivating someone. Good. Why do people not understand that? It's not rocket science. It's brain surgery. Yeah. It's too much. Too much. Infilm said, what's with the labels under the name? It says Maria plus size, which sounds positive, and the other folks it says skinny, which sounds negative. They sound skinny phobic. Yep, that's why I said I'm saying the fatties and the skinnies the entire time, the entire way through, because that is semantic obfuscation.
I was like a newborn baby, like health, just everything's just been on that end where I've never known anything about being skinny or being fit or being athletic.
I don't think you really answered the question that was asked. What she asked you was, how long did you have medical issues? Not what she said, but what she's trying to determine is for how much of your life have these medical issues prevented you from being a normal size with normal behavior?
I've never known anything about that.
Probably your situation. I don't think shame necessarily would motivate you, but for somebody where it is a...
I'll give her that. Definitely shaming her is just gonna... And some people are like that. And that's... I'm fine. But that doesn't mean that we should have a society that caters to those people's sensitivities in that way.
Option. So for instance, if you watch TLC, you watch My 600-Pound Life, 1,000-Pound
Hell
Sisters,
yeah, I love
Family by the
them. Oh my
Ton.
God.
All of them can do it. All of them have had this systemic issue
That's
of
the thing,
weight
though. I
gain.
have watched those like as a younger person, and it would make me feel disgusted with me when I was a kid, so it would make me worse. And
So then go talk to a therapist about why you hate your body so much, but you want to watch these other people that look like you, even though it makes you feel bad. That is something that you should be exploring with a professional. That is not a healthy line of thinking. It's just not.
it made my mental health worse, because then I'm like, is that how like everybody automatically views me as just like somebody who's oversized and could possibly never even attain it because it's so just common?
I don't think we should shame anyone to do anything.
No.
I think everyone deserves to like themselves enough to like enjoy life. And if you do that as a fat person, okay. If you do it as a skinny person, also chill. It's not my business.
Also chill. Even there. Notice the language.
Person, okay. If you do it as a skinny person, also chill. It's not my business.
Oh, well, it's also chill. It's okay if you do it as a first person. If you do it as a skinny person, you're all right with me, I guess, I suppose.
Shame is a broad category. I do think shame works in some cases. I think that there has been good fat shaming towards me and bad fat shaming. Bad fat shaming is just, somebody just saying, you're fat, things like that. That doesn't really work. But what does work is somebody looking at me and saying, don't you want to be around for your kids? And that worked.
I don't think
that
that's
worked.
shaming.
Yeah, like, do you consider
That absolutely is shaming. That absolutely is shaming. We are not changing the definition of shaming to be specifically not, I'm sorry, Bubba, not constructive. You can lay down. I'm not yelling at you. You're being good right now. We're not doing that. Do you consider that shaming? Abso-fucking-lutely. What the fuck else would you call it? Just saying nice things in a slightly mean way. No, that is shaming. It is a shame that you won't be around, that you will die before your kids get to see their, whatever. Yes, that is exactly what that is.
Consider that shaming.
I do. I think that's shaming. I think they were telling you like you should lose weight to be around for your children.
Fuck yeah.
I think that's shaming. Like an attempt to like try and say something bad about me.
Like they're personalizing it towards you and towards your kids. Like,
Sure.
Of course, yeah.
But I think
okay, as opposed to what he just said.
I think that worked. I think that worked. That really encouraged me to go to the gym and start trying to lose weight.
But that's you though.
Sure.
Yes, a human being who seems to have a pretty together mentality. That should say something. That should say something. I said, shit, me too. Contact 2 got mad love for the big guy on this show. He's so down to earth while holding firm to his opinions and seems to understand the value of trying to be better. Imagine that. Imagine that.
I think you have to be specific to it.
And notice how much pushback he's getting for simply standing firm on his opinions and understanding the value of trying to be better.
Go to the gym and start trying to lose weight.
But that's you though.
Sure. I think you have to be specific to the person.
I think that's one thing is it depends on the person.
Sure.
And if someone wants to shame me and like, you know, it depends on the person. I've been shamed a couple times and it's kicked me into gear to try to gain weight. But
I said, shit, me too. Not from random comments from people I don't know, but when you guys are saying things, when my parents are saying things, when my friends are saying things, I know they care. I know it matters to them. And so I want to do better for myself.
It's still really hard.
Sure.
And it's, you know, it depends on who you are, I think.
When you were making a comment about people questioning your masculinity, I get the question of actually looking like a woman all the time, and it's always in play. I always get compared to like male characters, especially when I don't wear makeup, and that's because I don't have boobs.
Or maybe it's because people wear makeup. Women wear makeup. So if you like, yeah, I'm sure. Okay. I'll be mad about that too. I watched another YouTuber when she's been streaming for a long time, she plays the fat shame that Nick did for her while she does squats. Someone complained about it in her chat. I told them she paid for it. She can play it. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, why not?
And I can't help that, but it's definitely really, really hard to like have people tell you constantly, like, here's the standard of how a woman should look and you don't look like that.
Yeah. Nobody can understand beauty standards of their gender. You're on an island there, sweetie. He says, I think we all agree that shaming anyone isn't ideal. There are better ways of communicating. I don't think we all agree on that. I think we're saying quite the opposite. That shaming isn't always the hateful, useless thing that they're trying to make it out to be. That shaming can be ideal. There are better ways of communicating than just being mean. But being mean and shaming are not the same things. They can be the same things, but they are not inherently the same things. So as our friend just told us, the shaming worked for him. And then as this guy just said, the shaming worked for him as well. And guess what I said? I agreed that the shaming from you guys also works. So maybe you think the shaming doesn't work, and that's fine, but we're definitely not all agreeing on that.
People tell you constantly, like, here's the standard of how a woman should look and you don't look like that, without even saying it. They don't say it. They're categorizing me. They're making fun of me, saying that I look like this one soccer player or something. And, you know, I think it's funny, but also shame can also be hard because I can see what you mean. Sometimes it can really motivate you when it's out of love, but when it's out of pain and when it's out of like not knowing someone and just saying it, then
yeah, the people who said that to me about my kids were not just some random guy online.
Right.
People who were close to me and I knew cared about me, who I had a conversation with. So I do think it matters who says it, but I still would consider it to an extent shaming.
Absolutely.
And I'm okay with that. I think there is good shame. I think sometimes it helps motivate people in the right way.
Yeah, and I mean it doesn't even have to be just with your weight. You know, if you're doing drugs and somebody's like, "Oh, you're a fucking drug addict, get your life together." Depending on the context, that really might help somebody. I can tell you from experience. There's, I mean, it's just not it all comes back to the same shit, guys. We have a soft society. Everybody needs to be told, oh, you're so perfect the way you are and everything's amazing. But it's not. It can be, but you have to work for that. You have to earn that. And as long as we continue to champion the people who are trying to reverse this notion of merit in society at large, then we're not going to be in. It's not going to be good. Morty, Jesus Christ! Can you he's asleep on my lap and he's sliding and falling off. So every 5 minutes I gotta slide him back up. But Guantek said shame shouldn't be the first option, but it should be reserved for when someone is unwilling to budge. Absolutely. Greg said growing up in the 80s and 90s was a completely different time, where we weren't so soft and sensitive. This generation is just a bunch of snowflakes. Yep. Right. You don't know shit about the 80s and 90s. Get the fuck out of here. Quest said being beautiful on the inside is what matters. Yes. And that's before we go past that, that is a point that seems to be lost. And it's like, it's not what's on the inside that matters. It's the fact that you are ugly on the outside that matters. That makes you beautiful. It's the fact that you are owning your badness, whatever area that comes out. What's inside does not even matter. It is only what you present to the world. That's how these people live. That is why they are not happy. That is why they are constantly looking to be victims, because that is the only way that they have any social currency. Fuck yeah, man. Rocco's Modern Life, come on. One more. 80s and 90s are awesome. Yep. Context said, so crazy to see the difference between a resilient person with a weight problem and a soft person with a weight problem. I have so much more respect for the resilient person. Of course. Yeah. God, oh no, it's 5 a.m. over here. God damn, you have a good one. But with that, we are going to close down and head to the after party real quick. We got to shout out Hector for the comment of the night. At least your monitor have curves, because I sure don't. And of course, our sponsors of the stream. Well, real quick, we had Zippy coming through with a gifted membership, and then our co-sponsors of the stream, Indie Film and Godfrey. If I knew how to say that, I would say it. Godfrey. Thank you so much, guys. I very, very, very much appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, you like that, right? Cheers. And don't forget, if you joined the membership or you were gifted a membership by Zippy or Indie Film, then you now have access to the after party. We are heading over there right now. Rhett, can you drop that link for me, buddy? The link is for the Discord itself. So come on, bro. Gotta be on it. That is free. You can join that, and the text channel is 24/7. We're all hanging out in there. But we have a bunch of stuff in there. We got the disciple chat, we got current events, we got the watch party, we got a girls only voice channel. So ladies, bring in more of your ladies. We got I'm doing a contest for the month of January. We have a word of the day channel, and I'm going to implement that into our contest. And the winner of that contest is going to get a t-shirt and 6 months free membership. Shout out to Jax. Just joined the server. Again, if you are a new channel member, you need to send me a DM so I can get you the permissions for the rest of the channels. But again, thank you so much to the donations. I can never say thank you enough, guys. It means so much to me. Thank you so much for hanging out. Once again, guys, I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, or if you're headed over to the after party, the membership, so the channel membership. So there should be a join button somewhere right in there. It starts at $2.99 a month and gets you full access. And I try to do at least one member stream every members only stream every week. So check it out. Or, if you, like I said, the money is the money. So if you don't want to be a channel member, but you want access to the server and the after party and stuff, again, send me a DM. We'll figure it out. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you over there. The rest of you, I will see you. What day is it? In 2 days. What day is it? Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right? Okay, so I'll see you in 2 days at 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there. Until then, once again, I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus. Here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until then, guys, I am out of here. Peace.